Hey, yo, we got a rough start today. Give me a sec. Skyconic first to the chat. Sorry, we're starting off rough tonight. Skyconic, Lucinda, Mytho, Moon, Skylar, Nicholas, what up, what up? I forgot to reset after I made that video earlier, so give me 1 second. Let's get all situated. Yeah, sorry, very shaky. Give me... Okay. Because I made a YouTube video today on TikTok, because I don't have any fucking other software or anything for editing videos, so I still have to use TikTok. That's another reason we need to get a streaming PC and everything. Let me get all this all situated. We also had to restart the fucking Xbox, so I'll have to log back into all this stuff again, unfortunately. What up, Nicholas? Welcome. Thank you for coming here from TikTok. Glad you made it on over. Sky, I'll be able to, well, so also, if you found that piece too, I know there's sentimental stuff with that. I believe gold will fume the same as silver will, but I don't know the implementations of it. I don't know what temperatures will burn it off. Again, we can be very, very delicate with it and do very, very basic work with it. But the only thing, again, with that size of gold is it won't get us too many pieces. It will boop, I don't care if y'all see my password. I don't even think that was the right one, was it? We may be able to make a couple pieces with it. I would definitely feel safer getting a piece or getting like a coin myself and practicing with that before swapping to that. No, we got, okay, I was gonna say, I just hadn't updated or refreshed the page. We have more than that many subs right now. We have at least 1,300, right? So yeah, what the fuck, Howie? Literally posted a prolapsed anus on his wall and said, my friend caught COVID. Is this, will he recover from this? Literally an inside-out asshole on his page. Oh yeah, Skylar, we can definitely make that happen. We can get a basic piece made of pretty much any style, but if your goal is to encapsulate or capture that memory, we can definitely make that happen. The only thing is, it would definitely not have that gold still there. If you're willing to transmutate and equivalent exchange it into another piece. Yeah, that's exactly what that was, Guy. Oh, for sure, Skylar, that would be fucking awesome. If you were to do that, I would, yeah. That's enough gold to last me a long time, and I'll be able to make you a few pieces, and we'll do it like that. Obviously, not paying for them. If you're buying me a fucking ingot, if you're buying me a little piece of gold, yeah, we'll do the value of that. Because I know, obviously, gold is, I don't know what it is anymore for the ounce of it. I know it's up there right now, but what up, J-Dog? Sorry that we don't have fucking TV or anything going right now, y'all. The whatchamacallit unfortunately logged out. Hang on, let me do the login on another device. It will go blank on the screen, just stay there. You don't have to refresh or anything. Alright, sorry about that. Had to log in with my cell phone because I don't remember any of my passwords. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. I've had the Highlights Made song stuck in my head. Obviously. Is it me or is it tilted this way? Looks like it's this way. I'm also very much a perfectionist, so. Oh yeah, look at that, perfect. All right, doggos, you gotta make a guest appearance. Marley, you wanna come say hi? There's one. There's one of you. Yes, yes. Hi. How are you? Hi. Good day. Good day. How are you? Hey. Come here, you gotta say hi, Marley. Oh yes, you too as well. Oh my gosh, you're so good. Hi, Marley. Are you having a good day? Lucy's having a good day. Come closer. Put your hands right here. Yeah, good Lucy. Yeah, we passed 1,300 subs. We're at 1313 right now. Hey, we talked about those synchronicities. 1313 is a double numerical value, or a double geometric value. What the fuck is that? Oh, no, yeah, I don't have a gift card. I was going to say, that's new. And we're at 2,000 public watch hours, halfway to the numbers that we need for that. Let's get that loaded in. I need to take a wrong bip. Doggos. For children. That's Marley is definitely a child. What up, Luke? All right, we are just gonna watch How It's Made tonight. We did watch the documentary on Aleister Crowley last night. That video is available. It's the video from last night if you'd like to watch it. It has a rundown of why we call ourselves a cult, why I call myself Perturabo, and a bunch of autistic rants of information that I and I alone have stored in my brain. Alright, getting chat pulled up. Again, anybody in here, if you have a streaming computer or a gaming laptop, even if it's a few years old, even if the parts are outdated, I will trade you in your favor for a custom piece worth more than your setup. Take me getting a stream PC or a gaming laptop. I will also reward you with a facilitation fee, either in the form of a merch bundle or a custom piece as well. Hell yeah, Skylar, yeah, for sure. We can make you a few pieces. That gold will last a while, so if you want to sponsor, so same thing, we can do, so not same thing, but we have options for this as well. If y'all want to sponsor a shipment of glass, if you want to sponsor the next shipment of clear that comes in, or that case that's in there now, we can do that. Or if you want to sponsor the next ingot of silver, stuff like that. We can do co-sponsored streams, we can do co-sponsored bundles, you can invest, we can offer investment opportunities and stuff like that. But yes, specifically, we very much need a streaming PC. We need a streaming PC or a gaming laptop, like Alienware. If it's older, it's fine. Again, anything will be better than us using literally an iPhone. That's all we have, that's all we're streaming on right now is this right here, an iPhone. So if it's an Alienware gaming laptop that's 5 years old, I guarantee you it's still going to have more processing power than a cell phone. So let me have it. Give it to me, and I will trade you a cool piece for it. Or if you find one for me, I will also give you a cool piece for it. Or, and this is applicable to a lot of different things. If I ever need something and you have money, I don't have money, and you want to buy it, we'll make you a piece worth more than what you spend. So if this is for anybody who wants a custom piece in the future as well, this is a great opportunity to do that. Ask me what I need. It could be as random as a fucking drill set that you get off Amazon and you send to my house. If that drill set is worth $75, I'll make you a piece worth $100. Stuff like that. I completely forgot to mention that in the past as well. Obviously cash is necessary, but there's a lot of random things that I need as well that I can't spend the cash on at any given time. So if you do have that cash and you want a piece, we'll make it worth your while. No hospital sponsors. we aren't taking hospital sponsorships. I don't think we want to do that. But yeah, that's with anything too. If you want to buy me a pound of glass, a pound of color, and you also want a piece made out of that color, and the piece would cost $100 and the glass cost $50, I'll make you a piece worth $200, because that is $100 for the glass, and then or $50 for the glass, and then $100 for the piece. I'll give you a what is it? What is that? A 25% discount or 25% add-on? However you want to work it. J-Dog, let me know when you send that money as well. Definitely want to keep an eye on for whenever that shows up. Also, our discount piece for the night is going to be one that we made last night. It's going to be one of the mushroom pieces. Let's see. We'll just make it the first one we pull out. Mushroom piece. Our discounted piece for the evening. First dibs, $50. 75 shipped with a matching mushroom bowl. This has some very big silver fume inclusions, meaning this is technically Space Tech as well. And as you use this, it will fill in that darker color behind it, and you will see the color a lot more. When am I going to make your pendant? When the money gets here. Yellow versus white versus, so I only can use 99.9% real stuff. It cannot be rose gold, it cannot be mixed gold, it cannot be gold plate. If it's gold leaf, it also has to be 99.9. Rose gold is mixed with silver. So actually it would work if it's 99% silver too. If they mix real silver, if it's pure silver with pure gold, rose gold actually will do some different colors if I am thinking about that correctly. I've never actually thought about that. Who knows? Might. Didn't that mushroom piece turn out so nice? Again, for anybody who's just now tuning in, the half price piece for tonight is the mushroom piece from last night. $50 on this bad boy, including shipping. $75 if you would like a bowl with it. The bowl will have a little mushroom cluster on it as well, which we'll do in the future for sure. We'll make some cluster attachments on pendants and bowls and pipes as well. We also made another one of those in here. Come here, you. This one's got a little bit bigger of a mushroom on it and a little bit actual heavier fuming on the bottom. Rose gold is gold mixed with copper? Oh, okay. Then it would not work because copper does not fume. Why do I think rose gold was gold mixed with silver? Oh yeah, we do customs all the time. I do not have any one-hitters to show. Moon, you have that one-hitter, right? That was you who got the, right? Got one-hitter, maybe. I think that was you. I make so many pieces. Sorry if I ever forget or get it mixed up. But someone in here has a one-hitter that they can send you a picture of. Let me go take a rip. Let me get this started. We'll get our glass blowing.
The foil covering that protects the cork is part of the iconic shape.
Oh, whoops, we're way past this. It just started playing this episode because I didn't keep scrolling. Yeah, it was you, Moon. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, Moon has one of the one-hitters that I made. If you'd like to somehow contact them about that, they would likely be more than willing to send you a picture of that lovely piece. Oh, wait. We didn't make it this far. Candied fruit. No. Okay, yeah, we're here. Cactus pear puree.
The last 2 years have been hard on everyone.
The cheapest piece, 50.
And teens are no exception.
If you twist my arm, I could probably go cheaper though.
But Pfizer has some...
You spin me a sad sob story. I'm just kidding. If you need a piece for cheaper, we can make them cheaper.
By many names: cactus pear, cactus fruit, and prickly pear. It grows on several species of cacti, which are native to parts of North, Central, and South America.
Tastes kind of like, if you've never had them, it tastes kind of like a pear mixed with a grape. And the seeds on the inside are rock solid. So you don't swish it around in your mouth, but you chew it until you get to the seeds, and you kind of separate the seeds out, and then you spit the seeds out. It's really fun. It's actually a really fun food to eat, unless you get the spikes in your fingers or your mouth.
Growers, in addition to selling the fruit, produce a puree, which they sell.
Myth, are you playing Sims? You gonna make a perturabo?
Cactus pear fruit is
I just realized
high in
that
fiber and rich in vitamins and minerals.
Had some crazy
It's
exposure on
sweet
that
and
one.
delicious eaten as is,
This way.
or as a natural flavoring in foods and beverages.
Boop. There we go.
In the Salinas Valley in California, the cactus
Anything
pear
for
harvest
Salinas.
begins around late August and continues through early
Damn,
April.
those are big.
The fruit is ripe when its skin begins turning red. The harvesters wear thick leather gloves to protect their hands from the thorns, and safety glasses to shield their eyes from loose thorns.
I
that
bet
blow
they
through
still
the
have
air.
that shit all throughout their hands and their
Tractors haul
face
the
and
cactus
shit.
pears to the processing plant. The fruit.
I saw you, J-Dot. Thank you. I'll let you know whenever that does make it.
That removes
Hopefully
loose dirt.
they're quick about it.
Then through a shower of chlorine.
And as soon as that makes
which
it here, we'll
kills
make
off
the pivot
bacteria.
for you and get that shipped out.
The fruit enters a cold air dryer for about 5 seconds, then passes through a
It cannot
hot
be.
dryer for 20
Gold and
seconds.
silver and then tungsten
The fruit
are really the only ones you can
dry.
use to fume, but tungsten you don't really want to use because it's a very high high fume metal, and it's very toxic as well, more toxic than gold and silver. And it doesn't do the crazy colors. You only really get like a weird like off green, and it's not very pretty.
Control team removes any with bruises or other cosmetic defects and transfers those cactus pears to the puree line. The fruit that passes inspection falls into what's called a singulator, a machine that
Yeah, let me go
lines
take a
them
rip
up
real
in
quick. Let me
single
get
file.
my mind right
The
for the
singulator
stream.
deposits each cactus pear into a cup on a computer-guided weigh and sort machine, which classifies each fruit by size, then applies the grower's price code sticker. The fruit then travels on the conveyor belt that leads to the padded tub designated for its weight classification. A worker stationed at the tub packs the cactus pears into a lined shipping box. Another worker removes any less than perfect fruit that managed to slip through the previous checks. Those also go to the puree line. On the puree line, the dumper drops the cactus pears onto a conveyor belt system, which transports them to the crusher. The machine crushes the fruit, separating the skins and flesh, mashing the flesh into puree, and extracting
Oh,
the
Jay,
sweet
if you're in here,
magenta-colored juice.
I apologize. Your piece is still right here. I haven't packed it yet. There's no mail on
From the
Sunday,
crusher,
so it
the
wouldn't have shipped out
pressed
today
skins
anyways,
drop
but
onto the vibrating shaker.
I'll send you tracking
while
tonight.
the puree and juice flow into the tank below. The shaker separates any puree still caught in the skins. The skins drop into a bin and are hauled off to be used as compost.
Gotta turn
or
the
sold
AC
as
on. It's
animal
fucking
feed.
humid out again. It's raining. It's been raining all day.
To capacity, with about 400 pounds of puree.
Oh
God transfers it to a large hopper.
Woo.
A worker releases puree from the hopper to the
Goddamn.
finisher. The finisher's fine screens trap the seeds.
Oh,
while
also,
letting the puree pass through.
I have not been contacted by either of our winners, so I need y'all's help. I would feel bad if the same happened to y'all and you didn't get the opportunity to claim it. So we're gonna try as hard as we can. This is my old ass phone that I've been kind of using as a backup streaming thing. David Hernandez 036. That'd be awesome, Skylar. That'd be very cool. David Hernandez 036 won second place, and Mithril Maverick won first. I don't think either of them have hit me up to join the Discord either. That's a good idea, Mytho. I can do a story post. Oh, Moon, you don't have to be present for them. If you won, we would have let you know. It's all of the cult members are inserted themselves. What up, Zach? And that's another thing too, Sky, is that I'm kind of tempted to not go out of my way to try to do it, but they subscribed. They paid money. They did to enter in. If it was just following, I would not go out of my way to contact them, so y'all would have a better chance, the people who actually actively interact and stuff. But they did subscribe, so we'll try to contact them. I'll make a story post and try to tag them. But they have 24 hours from now. No, Sky, I appreciate that. Yeah, they subbed and then disappeared. And what I think might have happened with that is some people have leftover stars in their TikTok wallet or something that they didn't even know about, and so they go to subscribe and they spend those stars and don't realize that they spent money or that they spent money doing it, and so then they don't really have any incentive to come back, you know. Yeah, Skylar, so the story behind you panning it out and how cool it looks rough is definitely a factor to think about, because I would feel bad personally about melting that. People do it all the time. There's literally people who live on rivers and go and pan for their own gold and use that in their pieces. And I think that's just fucking coolest thing ever. But if that's your only piece, I wouldn't want to literally melt it, you know? It would feel kind of bad, especially if there's some sentiment behind it, if there's a story or some good memories and stuff like that. But yes, I will make a story post. I'll tag them, so there's 24 hours left for them to claim their prizes, or we will redraw. What can you do? I can't wait around. We can't wait around for everyone. 24 in March, April, May. What month is it? August starts. Oh, gotcha. Oh, that's so cool, Moon. Yeah, I've always wanted to go out and pan for my own gold to use as fuming, because the gold that you find out in nature is you can melt it down and use it for sure.
Through to a holding tank below.
For sure.
The seeds are sold to businesses that press them into oil for cosmetic and hair
I'm going
products.
to watch the live video
From the
on
holding
this
tank,
phone.
the de-seeded puree passes through a second finisher with even finer filters. Then it flows into a tank for pasteurization.
Is that what that's from? Oh wait, no,
Kills off
Mythos.
any
Sorry, I
residual
read your
bacteria.
comment as if it was Skylar saying that, and I was gonna say I don't want to melt your 4th grade
The puree is finally ready.
gold pan finds.
A worker fills a drum, which is double lined with plastic bags.
How do you join what? Rosalinda, aren't you already? Are you a cult member? Aren't you already a cult member? If you're already a cult member, that's all you got to do. You're automatically entered in if you're a cult member.
She draws 4 one-cup samples from each drum for quality control tracking. Once a drum contains 400 pounds of puree, the worker zip ties each bag separately. Closes
That
the
makes
drum
sense,
with a
Sky.
lid. Safety seals.
Oh, join the Discord. You
Then
messaged me
puts
on
the drum in the freezer.
Instagram. I think you already have, Rosalinda. You
The cactus pear puree is sold
that link that I send you, you click it, and then when you click it, you have to join the server. You also have to already have a profile made on the app. If it's difficult and you can't figure out how to navigate it, I might be able to send you a video where somebody might be able to help walk you through it. It's a whole app you have to download on your phone, though. It's the Discord app you download off the App Store. Lucy, let me get your eye boogers. Quit turning away. A giant chunk of rose quartz? That's fucking awesome.
Goes into the food and beverage industry, which uses it to flavor many products, from ice cream.
Yeah, Sky,
to
yeah, I
jelly.
get that for sure. And just kind of throwing that drop of water into the ocean doesn't really make you feel very special, especially if somebody already has like 100,000 subs or whatever it is. I get that for sure. It's a lot more personable, especially when you're in a smaller stream. But I hope to never lose that personability. Obviously, eventually, we're going to have a huge community and a huge stream, and this chat will probably be going just as fast as the TikTok one does, and we'll deal with that as it comes. We may go back to Discord. Actually, we will end up only using the Discord for talking amongst ourselves, most likely, because if it does end up being like that, see how I'm just holding your hands? Do y'all see that? We do this a lot. They'll just come up and we hold hands. Because on YouTube, whenever we do monetize, you won't have to be a member to watch our content. So there will be non-members commenting and whatnot, and of course I'll still check those comments, but if we, the OG members and the cult members ourselves, want to just keep our conversations to us and not have to deal with trolls, not have to deal with stuff like that, then we'll stick to the Discord while we're live, no matter where we're live. Yeah, so you type Discord into the App Store, Rosalinda, and you download the app Discord. When you click the app after it's downloaded, it'll prompt you to make a profile, and after you make that profile, shoot me a message again on Instagram. I'll send you the link, and then it'll link your profile automatically to the Discord server that we're talking in. Oh yeah, aren't you just so cute? You need so much attention to survive, don't you? Come on. Ah, what the fuck? Why'd you attack me like that? Did you? Yeah, y'all can see it on video. She went straight at me. She didn't go for my hands. She like lunged at me. Crazy
For
fucking
water,
dog.
wine, tequila, and brandy.
Also, like we had mentioned, I think it's dumb that the numbers for monetizing on YouTube aren't swapped around. I think it should be 4,000 subs and 1,000 watch hours. That seems much more reasonable.
Round.
4,000 watch hours is a lot of
Quickly
fucking watch
snaps back
hours.
to its round shape.
That's a lot of
That
time.
snapping back makes the ball bounce. In addition, the air inside the ball acts as a tightly coiled spring, increasing the rebound.
Dun, 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 dun,
When an
dun.
inflated rubber ball falls to the ground, it bounces back and players catch it on the rebound. This type of ball is at the heart
That
of
picture
many
that I showed
games.
y'all? Isn't it wild how like we look? Like, look, Take away the facial hair. It's the same. It's the same person.
From basketball to soccer to volleyball. At the core is an inflated rubber bladder. Making it starts with a sheet of natural rubber. The factory worker folds it in a specific configuration. He places a die on top and activates a press to force it through the layers, which cuts out the shape.
I always like that.
He now has
I always
the
like when they
bladder of a
press out
sports
shapes
ball.
of things.
He brushes an adhesive around the hole in the bladder and inserts a plug. Another worker inflates the rubber bladder as she places it in a spherical chamber. It heats and cures the rubber for 5 minutes at a temperature of 284 degrees
So,
centigrade.
remember, it's thousands. So there's 23 of us here now. We'll round up to 25. Say we hang out here for 5 hours, or 4 hours. Say we hang out here for 4 hours. That's only 100 watch hours. That's only 100 watch hours if 25 of us hang out here for 4 hours. And we've been doing that every night for a month now. The Smoky Smoke? Okay, Rosalind. Message me on Instagram again, though, and I'll get you the invite link. And when you click the invite link, it'll take you over to there.
The rubber bladder spins on a revolving cylinder, causing it to take
Mostly
off
1 hour
nylon
stream, so it would
threads.
be a subscriber watching at least 4 streams. Wait, so I watch 1 4-hour stream. So yeah, it no matter how long the stream is, it all counts towards the public watch hours, so long as it is actually like being viewed through the video, because shorts don't count. So, oh, excuse me, that playlist that I have on there, if you click the playlist and then click play all, there's, I think, 15 hours at least of footage in that playlist. So if you watch every video in that playlist, that's 15 hours of watch time. So any old devices that you may have, plug them in. You don't have to log in to an account. Just go to YouTube and click that playlist and let it run. 1,000 subs watching a 1 4-hour stream. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, thank you, Sky. Yeah, I literally have my old phone that I had before this phone, the tablet that I use, and then sometimes I'll switch between the TVs playing it as well. Gotta pump them numbers. Gotta get them numbers up. Well, I want to monetize on here as quickly as fucking possible. I want off of TikTok. And when we monetize on here, it's going to be much cooler too, because we'll get gifted subs. Instead of y'all donating gifts on TikTok, it'll be donating subs instead. And I would much rather do that, where more people get more out of the donation. Dang, when did that happen? I lost a chunk of hair. This is what I mean by different length hairs just all throughout my head because of the locks. Would much rather do gifted subs than tips. I mean, either way, I get paid for it, but I'd much rather somebody else get something out of it too. You get thanked as well, and then I'm pretty sure YouTube has a ranking system for how many gifted subs you do as well, so there'll be a number 1 gifted sub leaderboard as well. Y'all are awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, all of that definitely helps me. Yeah, having them playing in the background. Even if you're at work and you have a computer, I don't know. Obviously, I don't want to get y'all in trouble at work. But if you're on a computer, just open up a tab on YouTube and then just have it playing while you're doing other things. You don't have to literally be watching it, so long as it's open and playing. I'm pretty sure. Oh, thank you, Lucinda. Yeah, I set my old phone to where it won't lock if it's playing streams. But yes, we're halfway to monetization, or at least halfway to the hours that we need.
Twist around the bladder.
And if we, sorry we keep pausing, y'all know me, I do this a lot. If we keep at the rate we're going at right now, we are averaging 200 watch hours a day, which is really good. Really, really good. So it'll take 10 days. 10 more days. At least 10 more days until we have enough public watch hours. Yeah, exactly. It's exponential. We're not going up the hill. The numbers are going up, but we're not going up the hill. We're going downhill because it's getting easier. That metaphor I just tried doing doesn't make any sense. I was gonna say, yeah, it's like we're going up the roller coaster, but that would mean it's getting harder. It's like we're going down the roller coaster, but that would mean the numbers are getting smaller. No roller coaster. We're just doing it. You mean what I know. I say that a lot. That's funny.
That both strengthens it and keeps it round. The material that will form the exterior of the ball is made using colored synthetic rubber.
I was gonna say that. I like that. I like that. Look like treasure.
Once it cures, a worker rolls
like
it into thick sheets.
treasure a dragon
and slices
would
it to a
lay
specific
on.
width. He folds it several times. This blue rubber will be used for volleyballs. The folded rubber now travels
I'm taking
between
another
a
rip real
series
quick.
of rollers. They flatten it and press it extremely
Is this
thin,
still raining,
and it becomes both lightweight and formable. An automated blade slices the rubber into shorter pieces. A metal pattern cutter will now be used to cut the rubber into strips, which will fit together to form the outside of the ball. These particular strips are for a basketball. The worker places the pattern on several pieces of rubber. A press forces the sharp-edged pattern through the rubber to cut out fish-shaped strips that are designed to fit around the round bladder. She lines
Y'all want to
the two
see the
halves
most
of-
over-the-top vape you've ever seen? I found this at the gas station. I started getting these because they're fucking huge. They have a ridiculous amount of vape juice in them. But also, you want to see the best part? It gives you a fucking light show each time. Fucking LGBTQ vape. The LGBT vape. RGB vape. I got it because one, I have an addictive personality, and obviously I like nicotine, and two, flashing lights activate my gambling addiction genes, and so I get 2 out of 1 now. Ooh, it's nice. Get them flashing lights and a buzz. It's just like going to the casino. Do y'all see Lucy here? At any given time, it's safe to assume Lucy is behind me holding my hand. You just can't see it on screen. the gamer vape.
Bonding chamber with the strips. She inserts the bladder
Watch out,
and
Stinky.
reinflates it.
Oh yeah, we have a rig to assemble from last
She
night.
closes the bonding chamber and
What else?
activates it. Inside, heat and pressure cause the strips to stick to the bladder.
I don't think we have anything on the menu.
To
I don't
make
think
a
we have to
medicine
make
ball,
anything
which
tonight.
is used for exercising, a different pattern cutter is used. The forming process is the same, but this
Unless I'm
ball has a
mistaking,
unique visual
or
impact,
unless I am
very
mistaken,
different from that of the
am I missing
basketball.
anybody's piece that I need to make? Because if not, we'll just fucking
Back at the
freestyle
basketball
tonight.
station, a worker applies the brand name to the outer skin. in
I feel bad
places.
though because these are
Glue
disposable.
helps the decals
These are
stick to the
literally
rubber.
disposable. All those pretty flashing
This mold
lights.
will now transfer a pattern onto the rubber ball, while also baking the lettering into it. Another worker places the ball in the mold and pumps more air into the bladder. He closes the lid. The mold applies heat and pressure to emboss the pattern onto the rubber.
I washed my hair last night.
The lettering
So
has
it's all
penetrated the rubber, and the worker
nice and
peels off
flowy
the
now, but I
decal
actually
plastic.
don't like it when it's freshly
Another
washed.
worker replenishes the air
I like
that's
a
been
little
lost
bit of
to
oil
make
in
the ball
there
completely
so
full
it
and round.
stays in place a little bit better.
The ball is now ready to receive its stripes. The worker paints black rubber into grooves that were formed
And y'all know
during
me, I
embossing.
don't wash my hair.
This rubber
So
quickly
there's like
cures to
no
become part
oil
of
in
the
it right
ball.
now. It's silky
Another
smooth.
worker inserts a fill valve into the hole. Then mechanical fists squeeze the ball to deflate it. This prepares
I
it
do
for
need to
packaging.
condition it though. I need to condition and brush it out
Valve
because it's still
inside,
very
it can be
tangly.
Easily reinflated by the customer. A worker wraps it in plastic and ships it to the retailer. Making this rubber basketball has only taken a couple
Honestly,
of
dyeing
hours,
my hair
but
was
it should
probably
be
the
able to
worst thing
take
I
a
could
lot
have
of
done for
knots
it.
and bounce right back.
It only knots up literally at the end.
Have you tried TV?
Look,
It's not dosing for frequencies.
right here, right where it starts.
It's got the
Right where the,
library ever.
The hair dye starts is where it fucking starts to tangle up. It hasn't been this bad in a while. Yeah, I need to condition it and brush it out. Washing it helped a little bit, but
Candied
Yeah,
fruit
look,
and
every
fruit
time
jellies are Middle Eastern
try to
in
fucking-
origin and spread to Europe around the 12th
I
century.
need to not dye my hair
This region
again.
of France
Or maybe
has been
do dye it
producing
again
them
and
since
just end up
the
cutting off the
15th
dyed
century.
parts because
When
I'll
Moors
eventually
lacked
need a haircut.
access to cane sugar, fruit farmers began planting sugar beets to preserve
Yeah, it's the
this
bleach.
confectionery tradition.
Makes it brittle, makes it grabs on.
This company
Like,
in France
God, that's
has
just-
been
that's
catering
so
to
bad.
people's sweet tooth since 1880 with its gift boxes.
I can barely
containing
pull one
traditional
hair out of it
candied
and it
fruit
all
and fruit
knots up
jellies.
like that. What the fuck?
To make candied fruit, a master confectioner boils fresh fruit for many hours to soften the fibers. This process will later help sugar to penetrate the
It
fruit.
still wants to
He
tangle up.
pokes the fruit to see if it's ready.
What is that,
Boiling
apricots?
time varies from 1 hour for apricots
Yep.
to 8 hours for chestnuts.
Those are
Citrus
limes, not
fruits
chestnuts.
are sliced before boiling. After boiling,
Okay,
the
better.
more fragile types of fruit, such as apricots, pears, and clementines.
Oh, what up, Darren? Thank
go
you.
into large hot air dehydrators for up to 3 weeks.
Hi, Jay. Sorry I hadn't sent you tracking
The
yet.
master confectioner replaces the
I haven't packed your
evaporated
piece
water
yet.
with
I got
sugar
distracted.
syrup, which
But yeah,
concentrates over time.
the Saitama in the back is actually my
For less
boyfriend
fragile
and
fruits,
our workout
the
goal.
technique is different. Workers heat them
This is
in
what I'm
vats
gonna
of
look like.
sugar syrup for about 10 days.
This is what we're
The
going
moisture
for.
evaporates and the syrup concentrates. The factory sells whole candied fruits, like this collection of clementines, apricots.
Wait, Moon, your car got stolen?
To gourmet food shops, which sell them by the piece.
When the fuck did that
Or an
happen?
elegant private label gift
Did you
boxes.
tell Discord? Because I totally missed it, if so. They brought it back the next day? They just needed to use it for a little bit?
For designing edible arrangements.
Right, Darren?
Fruit shows
That's
is a different process.
actually really funny. I made that joke a while back. I said, I'll trade the hair for that physique.
Making up more than 50% of the mixture with powdered sugar. Liquid glucose, a form of plant sugar. Pectin to make the mix
We'll
gelatinous.
still have the beard.
and natural fruit flavoring. A worker boils down the mix. for
Damn, Moon, that fucking
to
sucks.
Concentrate the sugar, then adds more fruit flavoring. As the mix continues to cook, she draws
No nip
samples
slips
to measure
tonight.
the sugar content.
That's what the other
She
shirt. This
does
one covers the
until
nips
mix
nicely.
hits its target concentration of 78%.
Oh, what the fuck? Did they get the wrong license plate or something and think you hadn't paid your note or something?
Square stainless steel mold.
Because you can sue them for that if they
It takes the jelly a day to set.
impeded your
Once set, a
your
worker
ability
removes
to
it
make
from the
money.
mold.
You can sue them
This one's
for
a different
for that.
flavor, and coats it with crystallized sugar to preserve it. The worker then
Unmarked,
uses
what the
jelly
fuck?
square on a cutter the company calls a guitar. because its steel wires look like.
And then they just brought it back. Double check that they're. I don't mean to. That I like that. I like that. I don't mean to make you. Oh, I like that a lot. Sketch out or anything, but I double check. Oh, that's gonna be a lot of lightning. I double check the stuff for air tags or any tracking devices. Oh.
This process is much faster than the hand vape approach. First, the machine makes a bed of starch.
That was a big. Oh, it's still going.
Then it presses the plastic form into the bed to create mold cavities. The next station fills the cavities with hot liquid fruit jelly.
Oh, especially if there was damages. I didn't even know there was damages.
The starch absorbs the residual moisture as the jelly sets.
Yeah, and definitely don't mean to sketch you out or anything. Don't get paranoid, but just to be safe, you should check the fender wells and just the like under the seats. Lift the seats up, look under the seats, make sure there's no air tag or anything in there.
The conveyor moves them into.
You never know. It's good to cover all bases. I'm a worst case scenario thinker, so that's where my mind goes.
A steel conveyor belt moves retail boxes in front of a row of workers. Each worker is responsible for a single flavor. While placing the required number of fruit jellies in the box, she also...
Good, Moon. Yeah, so then just check the fender wells. It'll be a magnet, if anything, or they epoxy it on the inside.
That these traditional fruit jellies
God damn.
as good as they taste.
Woo! Good, we need that rain. Not good for my foundation, but the fucking plants could use it.
Where the worlds you love shine like never before. Join us for the Walt Disney World 50th anniversary celebration.
Did you check under the car? Did you check to make sure they didn't fucking yoink your catalytic converter?
Almond consumption dates back to biblical times. They're even mentioned in the Old Testament. Around 100 AD, the ancient Romans showered newlyweds with almonds. This ritual came from the belief that they increased fertility. But today,
just randomly towing people's cars?
Almonds that keeps us coming back.
Well, if they towed it and it was in park, then they didn't tow it correctly because towers know whether it's a front wheel or a rear wheel drive, and they'll know when to pick it up and how to pick it up. So they'll have the car. And yeah, that was somebody who didn't know what they were doing. That's interesting. That's weird. No worries, Moon. Yeah, that's a lot. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. That sucks. That's, yeah. If they towed it while I was in park too, that probably fucked up your transmission. I can't think of words sometimes, so I just make noises until I think of them. Yeah. Oh, my back. Ooh. Need a backy out of me. Words are hard.
Almonds are a guilt-free snack.
I word good, but word hard sometimes.
Minerals and protein. More than 80% of the world's almonds come from California, where growing conditions are ideal. Upon arrival at a processing facility, the almonds are still encased in leathery hulls. They flow through equipment that combs out debris.
For sure, let us know what happens with that, Moon. Do you have like a rental car? Did insurance provide you a rental car? How does that work? See, these are things you should learn about in school. You know, stuff that might happen to inconvenience your daily life that you should be ready for. Thanks a lot, school. I don't know how to make an insurance claim. I don't know what happens in these type of situations. Who do I call? I feel like that's something we should have learned in school. Hey, when you're gonna buy a car, here's everything that goes into that. Oh, you're gonna buy a home? Here's how to apply for a mortgage. Like, practical things. Things that would help, like, actually in our daily life that we should have learned. That's wild. I lived in an apartment long enough, my first thought is always that it is a tow truck. I immediately try not to go, oh my god, somebody stole my car. and I try to just contact the tow car or tow companies in the area. Usually it is them. You got to pay $250 to get your shit back, but taxes, yeah. What the fuck was like? And I can go to jail if I do them wrong. Nobody taught me how to do them in the first place. What? Like very simple things, like even literally, I think we've talked about this before. Literally just having a basic home ec class, where you learn how to do a load of laundry, where you learn how to work a vacuum, where you learn how to start a load of dishes, where you fucking learn how to change your oil. Just like a very basic life skill class instead of economics, or instead of like whatever field or outdoor activity we're required to do for whatever reason in middle school or high school, whatever it was. Just a basic how the fuck to live your daily goddamn life stuff course. Yeah, definitely press charges, man. Yeah, home economics should have been literally everything. Everything that you need to live functionally within a home. So there's a lot more than just fucking boiling an egg and threading a needle. And there's no mechanics classes anymore. There's no shop or woodworking class. Like, if I was Mr. Beast level, if we ever make it to Mr. Beast level, that's gonna be the main thing that I do, is start not a school, but a place that offers classes for free for how to do literally just basic life skills. We'll do English classes, we'll do second language classes offered for free, and stuff like that. Fucking learn how to get it. Maybe do certification classes. Offer trade school. Offer secondary languages. Offer all kinds of actual life skills that school doesn't teach you in one place. Watch that. I mean, I feel like that's something that would actually not only take off, but would like take over a good amount of like what school does in the first place if it's done right. Because not only would people flock to that, but teachers would want to teach at that place too, because they're not getting constricted by government mandated testing and minimum number requirements for grades and stuff. Oh yeah, that sounds even better, Lexi. That's one of the classes. There's an age regression room with it's just a giant adult playpen. It's an age regression room only. You must be at least 12 years old mentally to enter this room. I actually see that as being very beneficial. In any given day, having a time to go jump on a trampoline or go play in the ball pit, release tension, maybe go throw a fucking rock, go on a zip line real quick. It's the same shit that Google does. And they very much have proven that it improves demeanor and dynamic as well. But I would take it a step further and make it actually what it's supposed to be in releasing that inner child. So you gotta let loose in the creative ways to be creative. If you're working in a creative environment, you gotta induce creativity. You gotta cater to that inner child. What up, Duck? Actually, was just about to run over and grab a rip real quick. I will. Lucinda taking to smoke instead. It's a great option. I respect that. Oh yeah, definitely, Sky. So I'm not talking specifically age regression so much in the sense of it in practice in daily life. Although age regression is a very practiced thing and very beneficial to those who have PTSD and CPTSD when implemented correctly. Just like anything else, there's people who will take advantage of somebody in that situation, and you got to be careful because it happens.
Targets any rocks. Air blows through it to separate.
You also got to be careful mixing age regression and sexuality as well. Those two things do not go together. A lot of people end up mixing them because the age regression also has implications of trauma revolving around that. Trying to be careful with the language I use because I obviously don't know everybody's trauma here and we don't like to trauma dump. But yeah, those two things shouldn't mix. Age regression is valid and so is different kinks whether you have them or not, but mixing certain things together should not happen.
Almonds from the stones. The almonds travel between a rubber roller and belt. This spins off the hulls and
For sure,
releases
Skylar.
the almonds. The operator periodically...
Exactly, yeah, and yeah.
Almonds.
Well, we'll play this again, I'll go take a rip. But that's a great way to practice age regression in a very safe environment is games, stuffed animals, colorful posters. That's why I have all the stuff around me that I do. I want nostalgic and comforting things from my childhood that I can look at and make me think of good memories. That's a type of age regression. But when people start mixing, yes, hi Marley, you're so cute, trying to get my attention. When people start mixing age regression with sexuality, not knowing that the two should very much be separate because they were never separated for that person as a kid, they don't realize it's bad. They don't realize, and again, we're not defending those people. We're not justifying it. But a lot of times that is what ends up happening. They don't realize that those two things should be separate because they never were for those people. It's unfortunate, and those two things can be explored separately. Hi, baby. Can be explored separately and addressed separately, but you do not want to mix them. That is not good for anybody involved. Yes, yeah. Spank the buns, yeah. Yeah, again, a lot of stuff walks fine lines depending on what lines you're walking there, and you have to address the lines that are being walked lest you fall along either side of them. Especially when it comes to things like trauma and dealing with and going over that trauma. We always talk about your trust in people. I personally don't trust people anymore. And that's a great place to start, is to unilaterally not trust anybody, because in the past it's gotten me in a lot of trouble. But it's also a good place to start in building these kind of forums too, because you gotta start with boundaries. If you start by just wholly trusting every person that comes along, you will get used and not treated well. Mostly because that's just boundaries not being set. If you're just like, yeah, cool, I accept you and we'll do whatever as whatever and how it comes, then people get used to that and will treat you as they see fit. Puppy buns.
Vibrating decks with slots sort the almonds by size. The system also shakes off
Trauma
the
and
to
its
heat it up.
intricacies are
The almonds head to a
a
gravity
difficult
for finer
undertaking.
separation. The spent hulls and other materials.
Oh, look
float
at that.
to one
I like
side,
that. They're
while
dancing.
heavier contaminants float to the other. The in-shell almonds tumble down channels.
Right, yeah, like I'm a hopeless romantic and I want to believe in the innate good in people, but experience has
Compressed air knocks them out of flow.
very, very
These are some of the contaminants that have been removed.
staunchly and over proven to
At
me
another
that it's
facility,
just not the case.
machinery will now grade the almonds according to the condition of
You
the
gotta
shells.
treat people as they are, not as you
Once
see
again,
them or
the
as they
almonds
could
fall
be.
through the open air.
I have a
computerized
problem,
camera scans
personally I
them.
have a problem with falling in love with potential. I see a lot of potential in people and will see them as that instead of as who they are. And that's also caused problems in the past because it puts a rose-colored lens over your eyes and really infatuates you with them based on what you see in them instead of who they are, and what you see in them often is not who they are.
For broken shells and other flaws. A compressed air gun then knocks the flawed almonds out of the mix.
All right, rip and then glass blow. We're at 8:55. Anybody who is new here, we don't just talk to talk at the beginning of the stream. We have to wait for our kiln to get the temperature. Although we do have good
People
conversations.
sort through the almonds and reject any that don't have perfect shells. They also toss out any contaminants.
Oh yeah, claw machines are still one of my favorites. I enjoy
Some
arcades
buyers
very
will pay
much
a
so.
premium for the best nuts. The almonds with broken
So,
shells will have shells
real quick though,
removed.
age regression in the sense of what Sky was referring to is literal, though, in the sense of what would be considered little spaces or age regression safe spaces. It doesn't necessarily have to be a little and a dom or a dad or a daddy, however you want to fucking verse it. Yes, it sounds weird. It's okay. It's not what it sounds like. It's basically a safe space and a caregiver for somebody who wants to age regress in a safe space. And a lot of it, when looked at from the outside in, is taken very, very wrong. Again, because it often is mixed with sexuality, whether it's by the people doing it or who's watching it. Unfortunately, regardless, it's not a good thing when it mixes. But yeah, it's intricate. It's just like any other thing trying to go over traumas in the past.
These raw almonds are also sorted by size. They flow onto a vibrating conveyor. Further along,
For sure, Jay. We'll see you in a little bit.
The smaller almonds fall through these holes and into bins.
Oh yeah, that duality we talk about. There cannot be.
These larger kernels are
Good
worth
with how
more
bad.
and will be sold separately from the smaller ones.
All right, gonna take a rib.
As with the in-shell almonds, good looks are important.
Oh yeah, pet play is also a form of
photographs the cascading
regression
almond
or
kernels
dom
and
sub
computer scans the
dynamic.
images. The system knocks the less than perfect almonds
But
out
then
of
again,
the production stream.
We're talking about dom sub dynamics, and that is different from a little and a big's perspective. Again, because dom and sub is sexual, little and big is not. And you very much have to keep those separate, because if you cross them socially, it's wrong. Obviously, it's wrong, but it's very, very damaging in your mind as well. Yeah, we'll not go into it too deep, because obviously, again, we don't know everybody's trauma in here.
Next, the almonds head towards a robot. Along the way, another camera sends the images to a computer scanner. This one has been programmed to find chips, scratches, and even small broken bits. The computer sends the coordinates of the damaged almonds to the robot. The robot then finds them and plucks them out of the mix. A human inspector now picks out any imperfect almonds that the robotic system missed. Their flaws are just they still taste the same, so these almonds will be processed into chocolate bars, almond butter, baked goods, and cereals.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Travel forward.
Fucking pup mask in the corner.
Machinery moves cardboard boxes into an open position on a packaging carousel. Sprayers apply glue
Exactly.
and pushers close
Exactly.
sealing the boxes.
Pet play and yeah, there's very much intricacies, especially when you start incorporating things that fall into the furry lifestyle as well when it comes to pet play, like masks, like chew toys, like collars, because to the outside that automatically looks like you're a fucking zoo, and we don't do that either. We don't support that either. Consent is key, and communication is key in all things, and there's very obvious lacks therein. But from the outside looking in, just like with a lot of things, it looks like it's crossing the line. It looks like it crosses that line that obviously should be there, and we recognize the line, we respect the line, and we tell anybody who does not see a difference between one side of that line and the other to go fuck themselves.
The almonds now arrive at a scale. Into boxes in approximately 50-pound batches. These big boxes of almonds will be shipped to other facilities to be processed into other products. Smaller amounts will be packaged for consumer use. A snack anyone can crack or enjoy pre-cracked.
What the
Almonds
shit?
are a natural and nutritious choice.
Hang on, my
By the
fucking
handful.
my AC vent is dripping like a lot. Hang on. It's because it's so fucking humid out. There's literally a puddle over here. Oh my god.
This is the moment. For a treatment for moderate to severe eczema. Sabinco, FDA approved. 100% steroid-free.
I thought one of the puffos had an accident or something.
Sabinco is a once-daily pill.
This puddle is literally, oh my god, this is so dangerous. What the fuck? It was literally dripping on my rechargeable batteries.
Before and during treatment, your doctor should check for infections and do blood tests. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B.
Oh, of course, Sky. I appreciate the fact that we can have these conversations, and again, these conversations are necessary. These things need to be talked about, especially if we're going to be delving into the topics. You have to talk about both sides of it to not, again, step over the line either way. On the batteries, yeah, and the batteries were literally plugged in to an outlet. Let me take these out. Let me dry these off because batteries will rust very quickly, and so will this thing probably. Clean the filter, the vents, and the... Gotcha. Let me swap the filter out as well real quick. I hadn't done that in a few weeks.
The use of glass as an artistic medium dates back to ancient Egypt. Despite the obvious
we're doing glass work?
sculptures, this art form has an enduring appeal. The transparency of glass often has a ghost-like quality. They're tangible works of art that are skillfully crafted.
And unfortunately, that's actually one of the rumors that got started. We've talked a couple times about how rumors were flying back and forth. One of my ex-partners who absolutely had no idea what they were talking about. I am a furry. We've talked about this before. We've talked about how most people are and don't realize it. They straight up called me a zoo and spread that around, like, confidently that that's what it was. And I was like, dude, no, that's not what, no. And of course, the more bombastic and the more crazy the shit sounds, which that is, if you accuse anybody of doing shit like that, yeah, you want to distance yourself from those people immediately. And yeah, that's one of the rumors, is because I talked about the intricacies of this conversation and the nuance there, and they didn't understand. They saw it from the outside perspective looking in, and ran with it, unfortunately. Yeah, that is unfortunately one of the main things that ended up going on TikTok. We talked about how one of the rumors was that I abused my dogs. That was specifically that, and we see my pups. That hurt me. That hurt me more than anything. I got off TikTok for a while when that was happening because I just didn't even want to see that kind of stuff. That just made me sad. That people would just believe that kind of thing just off principle, just because somebody said it. But yeah, that was the main thing that was going around for a while, and then when people started to not believe that because they were like, well, you don't have any proof of it, you're literally just saying it, then they changed it to that I was just abusive in general, which you can't prove wrong. If somebody says you are and they had personal experience with it, and you try to argue with that person, then that makes you a bad person. It's like, well, why are you victim blaming then? Yeah, very, very shitty situation all around. Animal control got called. Somebody called animal control, and I welcomed them into my house, and I was like, yo, straight up, please come in, look at my dogs, we'll hang out. They were actually very cute. Their name was Officer Lynch. Not a good name for an officer. We hung out with the pups. I was like, yeah, dude, this is literally where they hang out. Here's their food, here's their water. I took them to the vet just to make sure as well. He was like, yeah, go get them checked out just to make sure. And I did. Yeah, and that's what ended up getting me doxxed as well. That specifically, because understandably when people hear that, there's a lot of emotion pent up with that, and it turned violent quickly because obviously people believed it, and my stalker wanted to cause as much problems and as much damage to me as possible. Not a good name for not a good name for an officer. He said, hey, I'm Officer Lynch, and I went, oh. Yeah, luckily they are animal control. Animal control officer, but still Officer Lynch, still officer. Let me swap this whatchamacallit out real quick, because this is dripping quite a bit. But yeah, that was the main sauce of that whole situation. Unfortunately, happened. Can't do much about that when that happens too. And even if you start to try to defend yourself from stuff like that, it's best to not even try to address it. Oh yeah, I cried. I was I was inconsolable. I was in the worst place mentally I had ever been when that was going on. I did not know what to do with myself or with anything. It took me a long time to rebuild from that. Literally 6 months took me to rebuild mentally and physically. I stopped eating. I stopped taking care of myself when all of that was going on. And then at the beginning of the year, I was like, no, I'm not going to let other people do this to me. I'm not going to let other people dictate who and what is who I am. And so I made a goal to rise above it and to not let people do that to me. Oh, thank you, Jay. Thank you. Yeah, I was afraid. That was my number one thing. Is that, well, I obviously want to make sure that the dogs are taken care of, and that was on the forefront of my mind, is to make sure that that's done. Is if I can't take care of them, that's the first thing on my mind constantly. You see how I'm almost tearing up about it, because those are literally my best friends. Those are my shop mates. Those are my best friends. Those are who I spend every day with. And yeah, whenever that was going on, I was not okay there for a little bit. And this is the meat of the sauce. This is the root of it all. So we've talked about it just kind of like in jest here and there every now and then. But that's what was happening at the beginning of this year and the end of last year. That's what got me doxxed. That's what got a bunch of people starting rumors about me, because that was believed off shot. Yeah, a very, very sad situation all around. I hadn't really told y'all in depth of how determined the stalker was to ruin me and my reputation and all of that. But yeah, it got really, really bad there for a little bit. Real bad there for a little bit. Why is this dripping so much? It's probably just because it's so humid in here. I'm dumb. Not dumb because of the dripping, but I left my protein shake in the other room yesterday. Gotta put that through the washer now. Oop, hang on, let me do this too. Sorry. Oh wait, no, I wanted to wash this.
Sculpture of a...
Let me swap the filter real quick. Oh yeah. Shitty situation all around. And now anytime someone starts an argument on TikTok with me and they have nowhere else to go with that argument, my stalker will comment on it and say all that offhanded shit, and then they'll start with that and start to spread those rumors instead of just using the topic that we were on TikTok. So that's why I pretty much took all the old videos off my TikTok. We're gonna make the TikTok for the community. We're gonna make the TikTok for us, not about debates or generating topics like that, which is unfortunate too, because I very much wanted to be an example on TikTok. We can still very much be a good example of good people and what to do morally. But TikTok was a great resource to find like minds who need help, to like minds who may need information or an example of what it's like to grow up not knowing you're trans or autistic. And unfortunately, anytime a video goes viral, it gets met with people going, "Aren't you an abuser? Or aren't you that person who had a bunch of shit said about them?" And I'm like, yeah, a bunch of shit has been said about me, unfortunately. That's what this app is for. So, can't do the social endeavors as deeply as I would like, but we're still going to in our own way. Exactly, Nedra. Yeah, and that's exactly it. That's exactly what it was. My stalker has done this multiple times to multiple people before, and they bank on the fact that most people would rather believe a victim right off the bat than ask for any details. Or if anybody does ask for any details, they immediately call them an apologist. Or why are you siding with my abuser? Why do you defend? Yeah, people like that, stuff like that. It's very easy to corner people with the topic. It's very easy to get people on your side with it, especially when you look like I do, and especially when you sound like I do. A lot of it was rooted in transphobia as well, and I got off the app for a good while because of that too, because all the comments were just, yeah, it looks like a man who would do that, or it looks like the dude who did that to me, or and that's why we talk about echo chambers and commisery and commiseration, is that it just ends up being a projection fest, and everybody just goes, oh, that sounds like what happened to me, and then they apply it to their own life, and then they get angry about it, and then they apply that anger to whoever the topic is on, and then all of that anger gets directed. It's not a good place. It's not a good thing. Yeah, Moon, that's exactly all of what TikTok is people directing that anger and hate, whether it's based in racism and misogyny or trauma. Just like the fucking whole modern warrior thing, that was the big thing that was going on for a while there. He had a whole fucking group of lemmings that would attack people based on shared trauma surrounding racism. And yeah, it ended up being a toxic place just like anything else. Mytho, yeah, probably. That's the only thing that would make sense, is somebody that's jealous that I'm thanking you, that I'm giving you any attention whatsoever, and accusing you of manipulating me to get my attention. But yeah, I try not to talk about this too much. I don't like talking about it in depth just because it is trauma. I have not spoken on all of the subject matter regarding it and my stalker even, and I don't think I will. But I do appreciate y'all being a safe space for me to open up and to talk about it, because the last time I did try to, I was called a liar, and I was called a manipulator and all of that stuff. So I do appreciate y'all approaching it with open arms and open ears. It does mean a lot to me. Yeah, Sky, and this person who started all this, again, makes not a profession out of it, but that's how they get their notoriety. They are an SW worker, or an S worker, and they get all of their profile traffic off of the videos of accusations. The last time they did it, it was somebody who was viral on TikTok as well, and they accused them of exactly the same things as they accused me of, and believe it or not, they look exactly like I do too. It's almost as if there's a pattern there. I went to the police too. I told y'all that as well. Went to the police, filed a report, followed multiple reports, not only just about the stalking and the harassment, there's more stuff that I followed on as well. And unfortunately that didn't really go anywhere because the police are no help whatsoever. Yeah, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Again, I haven't really talked about it a whole lot just because the last time I did try to open up, everybody was like, no, we know you're lying. I was just like, all right, okay. I don't even get a chance. Okay, that's cool, whatever. I stopped trying. I tried explaining it maybe 2 actual times, and it's so detailed and intricate, and it's so nuanced and all the information, especially. It took this long for me to tell y'all about all the information that is regarding the situation. So me trying to put it in a 3-minute video literally just made me sound crazy. Literally just made me sound like Charlie talking about Pepe Sylvia. Exactly, Jay, and that's immediately what it turned into. They turned it into an advertising. Same thing that happened with the Modern Warrior thing, then Chelsea, whatever her name is. If it's dripping that bad, I'm just concerned there might be a puddle up in there as well, which I'll check later. It's raining. I don't want to go up in the fucking attic. Yeah, Moon, I remember you seeing a lot of what was going on. I remember you getting attacked for a lot of what was going on as well, literally just because you asked the question. I think it was, you made a comment, and you're like, wait, but what about this? And I think like 6 or 7 different profiles piled onto you, talking about why are you defending this kind of stuff? Why don't you believe survivors? Why don't you side with victims? Just immediately, and it's just like, wow, that's very coordinated. It's almost as if it's intentional. Oh yeah, I appreciate you, Sky. Yeah. It still is a very unfortunate situation because it does keep rearing its head anytime somebody again starts an argument with me. Anytime anybody picks up traction in regards to me, my stalker sees it and picks up on it and uses that. Anytime anybody comments on any of my posts, I've been losing mutual friends on TikTok because of anytime any mutual comments anything on a post, they go and blow up their page and say horrible things. Why are you defending this? Why are you an apologist? Why don't you side with victims and this and that? And then people automatically just out of principle unfollow me, which is valid. Like, I wouldn't want to follow me either if somebody was saying that kind of shit about me. They intend on that for good people to be good people, and they use that. Like we talked about, everybody wants a manipulator, and it's romanticized until it happens to you, and they do actually ruin your life. It's not hot and sexy. It's not fun. It's not cute like the succubus movies make it out to be. It wasn't you, Moon. Okay, I was gonna say I thought I remembered something like that happening. It probably was somebody else. It happened so many times, and it keeps happening that I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen to you, though. In the future, of course. I'm not like wishing for that or anything. I'm just saying in the past, I would not be surprised because they're less active than they were. Obviously, you lose motivation after a while. But y'all, I was with this person 3 years ago. 3 years. And it's every day still. 3 years ago, and they still aren't over it. My most recent ex is already over it. Yeah, they aren't even doing any of the things anymore. It's all still coming from just my stalker. 3 years. I take it as a compliment sometimes. I'm just like, damn, I got that magic wing wing. Pro at ruining my own life. Exactly. This isn't some storyline. This isn't a nice succubus manga. This is real life. They will literally drain you of all of your livelihood and leave you a shallow and hollow husk. It's kind of what I think is happening with MGK and Megan Fox, and what very much did happen with Kim Kardashian and what's his name? Pete, not Pete Wentz. That guy. This is how much I try not to pay attention to that shit. Pete tattoo. I mean, he's hot as fuck. I fuck the shit out of him. Don't get me wrong. That's not why I don't pay attention to it. No, Pete Wentz was the one who got in trouble for sending dick pics to underage girls. That was from Panic at the Disco, right? Or no, that was Fall Out Boy. It's Pete... Somebody... Davidson! Pete... God. Words. Like we say, words are hard. But yeah, very much what happened to Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson. That dynamic there, I think, is a very succubus dynamic. A very parasitic dynamic. Oh yeah, I try to stay removed of it, but from what I saw from the headlines and the random videos on TikTok that I saw about them, it was Pete doing everything possible that he could to keep Kim entertained, literally going yeah, da, 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 ha, 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 and getting like her name tattooed and branded on him, and then her going, that's cute, and then breaking up with him anyways. Confined to what TikTok decides. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much me as well. I have some celebrities that I do try to stay up with because they're good people and provide good content, but they aren't really even celebrities anymore. Like Russell Brand is doing cool stuff still. I always thought he was a cool person. Honestly, I gotta say, I genuinely don't care or follow about any other celebrity. I follow The Rock. I think everyone follows The Rock. That dude's gonna be president. I would put money. I would bet a large sum of money that The Rock will be president by the time by in our lifetimes. And I don't say that with a smile. Do you see me smiling? Now I'm smiling because I'm laughing at it out of like trauma response. But yeah. Celebrity, and once was wait, what, Lucinda? Markiplier and Mike. I know who Markiplier is. And see, like, influencers are different than celebrities for me. Influencers have a direct link into our lives, into what we model ourselves after. Celebrities are just an iota of that. It's a movie, it's a TV show, it's one instance of your day. But now, content creators like us, me right now, it's getting ingrained in people. It's getting much more direct relationships with people, and I think the care and the relationships there are obviously a lot deeper and a lot more fruitful. Which is why we see a dying out of the celebrities as we are now. Even like Justin fucking Timberlake, who is not old. Who, if you look at the very recent past, Will Ferrell is still going hard as fuck. But if you look at the recent pool of celebrities that have come up, any of the young ones that are still trying to be relevant are not whatsoever, because they aren't relevant on social media or streaming or on the new platform that is content creation. You have Justin Timberlake hopping in here and doing a little dancey dance and getting made the fuck fun of. Oh, did y'all see that? It was painful. It was painful to watch. Oh yeah, George Takei. Hello. Yeah, always George Takei. Keanu Reeves. Oh yeah, Keanu Reeves. Oh yeah, that's true. I care about Keanu Reeves, just because he's so wholesome. Yeah. I don't follow him like actively though. I guess Ryan Reynolds and maybe the cast of Always Sunny. Like Danny DeVito, I care about. Danny DeVito, I would die for. I would die for Danny DeVito. The cast of Always Sunny, but like I don't follow them. I follow the podcast, but not not like individually. It's an interesting time. There's a shift in media. It's a shift in money in media as well. We have esports rivaling real life sports. And esports players being just, if not more popular than individual sports ball players. I'd rather watch a fucking game of Warzone than a football game anyways. That's just me though.
Horse.
Horse!
The artist's two
Peter, the horse is here.
passions come together. Art and horsemanship. The artist takes inspiration from her horse.
Mike Shinoda,
observing
gotcha.
the swell of his muscles as he rumps. In order to
Oh yeah,
create
Pete
the
Wentz
same
was back when
sense of
Paris was
movement
big.
in
That was a
glass.
while ago. That was a long time ago. Look, they can go, they gotta go.
She then draws a series of sketches of the horse in different stances. These sketches are an artistic
Did he do
study.
the hello when you met him?
They help her work out the sculpture's form before actually creating one.
Yeah, so I'm a fan of bands. Those celebrities I don't see as the same as
She
like.
cleans solid glass
TV
rods
celebrities,
to prepare
though.
them for sculpting.
Hey, look.
This is borosilicate glass.
Yeah, it is. Oh shit!
The thermal shock.
Oh, hey yo! That's the same kind of torch as mine. It's a 2-port Phantom. Is she wearing the same glasses as me too? Look. This is cool. A lot of people sit down when they blow glass. Look at how clean that bench is. Good for you. They did that specifically for this. They're like, don't look at my bench. Look, they got little tweezers too, like me. A lot of people just use a fucking kitchen knife, which is really funny because this is a very staple tool, and a lot of glass blowers' arsenal is literally just a kitchen knife. That's so funny. Okay, this is a cool episode. We should promote this episode somehow, some way. Maybe do something similar. I don't know.
Kinds of glass. She brings the glass into the flame
I'm not a
of
sports
torch
person either.
to soften it. Once softened, she can fuse two of the rods together.
It is.
Then,
It's the same
using
torch.
tweezers and flat
So-
knife-like tools, she sculpts.
The reason I didn't know if it was the same torch as mine is because the two handle has two variants, which is the Phantom and the Mirage. The Phantom and the Mirage. The Mirage has an extra port here, so it's got a bigger flame. It's got an extra ring of ports that mix the propane and oxygen. So that is the same as mine.
Helps the
GTT
glass into the
Phantom.
shape of the horse's hips and legs. She works quickly so the glass doesn't have a chance to cool and fracture. She adds a smaller piece of glass and
The
forms
next
it
Madden
into a
game.
tail.
Yeah.
She constantly turns the glass as she works it.
My torch is a
to make sure
celebrity.
it looks good from all angles.
That's actually a really good idea to have it
She
behind
uses
you and then
glass
just
in
fucking.
hips to build up the body and shape the horse's belly, back, and chest.
You see how muscular their hands are?
This is intensive and precision work. The piece must be exposed to a well-adjusted flame and constantly moved
That torch,
so it doesn't become too hot
that
and
port
melt
is
too
blocked.
much.
She needs more oxygen in their flame.
She adds
Yeah.
glass to the front.
That
and
port. She
sculpts
doesn't
the
have.
shoulders
She
and
doesn't
part
have
of
her
the front
secondary
legs.
oxygen on. You always want to have your secondary oxygen cracked.
She
That's why.
removes a little piece
That's why
of
the face
extra
of her
glass.
torch looks like that.
She deposits this sizzling.
That's why the face of her torch looks like this. This torch is 8 years old and doesn't even look like that. I'm shit talking.
unwanted bit in water to cool it down.
I don't have a
And
water in
dispose
my
of it
fucking bucket
safely.
either. I should. It sounds real
She
nice
does
whenever
more
you.
work on the front legs. She'll refine them and form hooves later. But now, she bakes the partially sculpted glass horse in
Who
a
you
kiln.
thought's gonna-
This
oh,
is
look.
the first annealing.
Who you thought's gonna be on the cover is like, fuck, I don't know. I don't watch any fucking throwy balls or kicky foots. I played sports growing up all my life, but I was forced to. So I definitely never took an interest in it. I only liked football because I didn't know I was gay and got to exercise like extreme masculinity, the toxic version, without like dipping my toes into the trauma.
Which realigns molecules to prevent cracking. She forms the head and mane separately from the body.
Her kiln
This
is
more
different than mine
intricate
as
work.
well.
The features are much more detailed, so she uses smaller tools. Once she's shaped the eye sockets, she melts little blobs of black glass into them.
I wonder who this is.
She sculpts the eyes with a flat knife. She carves creases above them to create an eyelid effect. She adds glass for the ears. Then, using a tool called a masher, she pinches the ears to squeeze them.
We're watching
thinner.
somebody else blow glass instead of me.
She heats them again. This process can cause the ears to stick together, so she cuts them to separate them.
Oh, I like those shears
She
that she
curls the
has.
ears using tweezers and tweaks their position on the horse's head. She melts the base of the head to the body, and they become one. She fuses more glass to the back to craft a mane, and after another annealing, she returns to the legs. She softens them with a flame again and adds definition
What's
to
wild
the
is
fetlock joints.
I've never seen somebody
She
work
cuts
borrowed
the
silicate
tips
like
to create a
this.
more level surface.
I know a lot of people sculpt with it, but it's so fucking
She
hard
melts
to
black
sculpt with.
glass onto the ends of the legs and sculpts it into the shape of hooves. With a
Because of how
series
quick it
tools,
cools down.
she tweaks each hoof until she's satisfied this glass horse will stand
That's
the
really
way she
good.
wants it to.
That's really good sculpture.
After another annealing, she shines a polarized light through the sculpture and examines it for stresses that could compromise its structure.
Yep.
Finding none, this galloping work of glass
do that with
art
solid
is complete.
A lot.
It's been made with great care.
The
and care.
polarization scope, or the, that was so cool.
Why is Aaron happy? Well,
I didn't know they had one for Boro.
Gave out. But he knew Carvana had his back. That's because Carvana had tens of thousands of cars under $20,000. And with the new co-signer option,
Oh, I've never told y'all about my sports. I played baseball all growing up. I was in football in high school all through it as well, but my main thing was pole vault. I was in track and field, and I was varsity pole vault the end of my freshman year, and could have lettered in it, and could have gotten a scholarship to college for it as well. I would have ended up breaking my school's record for it, but I ended up fucking my shoulder up, and ended up having to get surgery on my shoulder, and it was either I do crazy amounts of PT and try to get back into it, and maybe like go back at it and everything, but we were like, well, how realistic is it that I am going to want to be a pole vaulter for the rest of my life? And it was not. I was never really serious about it, which is funny. I made it varsity freshman year and wasn't really serious about it since I was stoned as fuck, flying through the air on a pole. Are you kidding me? I wanted to choose the sport that had the least amount of running and was the coolest thing to do while stoned. Pole vault. Right? Right? Oh, that was such a fun time. Such a good time. So half the time I would fuck around, not even be serious in practice, and I figured out how to front flip off the pole. So I would front flip over the bar. And I did it once in competition. My coach chewed me the fuck out for it. It almost didn't count. But instead of launching my feet up, I would just hang on to it and just fucking ride it all the way up, and at the very last second would launch forward and pull myself and do a front flip over it. Yeah, that was real fun. Very, very stoned while doing it. Good times. Good times.
With flips and jumps
And
part of the
so,
sport.
oh sweet,
active
skateboards.
skateboarders
I was a piece of shit at the time, just like now, and had a crazy sense of style as well. I had the side of my head shaved all the way down, and would always have cool designs shaved in the side of it, and had my hair that went all the way down and had flow off to the side too. So just this stoned. I'll pull up pictures at some point. I also had a handlebar mustache. This was sophomore year, and I had a handlebar mustache. But yeah, a little piece of shit, stoned as fuck with a handlebar mustache shaved. I think at the time of the picture, there's an anarchy symbol shaved in the side of my head, which I told the principal was the new Avengers logo, and he believed it. I have a lot of stories, so they just need to give me a fucking show. I would love to go on a podcast like Joe Rogan, take mushrooms with him, and just talk about shit for a few hours. I got a lot to say.
damage their decks beyond repair every few months. But instead of tossing the ruined
I appreciate you, Sly. They, them pronouns for
they're
me.
being reclaimed
Although
for a
flattery
different
will
kind
get
of
you
trip,
everywhere.
a transformation into electric guitars. From skateboards to fretboards, it may seem quite a leap, but making electric guitars out of old skateboards
Yeah, these are all
is
new
not such a
episodes, aren't
wild
they?
idea. Skateboards are often made of multiple layers of rock maple, which is a traditional tone wood for guitars. A guitar maker evaluates the condition and color of the boards. And once he's made his selections, he aims a heat gun
So
to grip tape
I'm
on top.
gonna think out loud real quick. The drips that are coming from the vent isn't coming from the vent itself. It's because the air is so cold that's coming through the vent. It's making the metal cold, so cold that the humid air is collecting and condensing and dripping off of it. Right? It's not actually up in the roof where it's dripping from. I hope. That's what I'm hoping for. We're gonna manifest that. I think that's what's going on. Let me grab a stool real quick and just touch the gate or the grate, and I think that's what's happening. Yep, I am correct. That's exactly what's happening, actually. That's how humid it is in here. That's how humid it is right now. In my home, in my house, there's like 100% humidity right now. It's dripping from my fucking vents. It'll start Chalk World? I don't know what that is. My mind immediately goes to Chalk Zone, that show that we used to watch as kids. Chalk. With the little blue dude. The foundation is definitely shifting more that it rained. That's not good. Yay! More things to worry about. Because the above of that door frame over there is like bowed out. Yeah. Awesome. Oh yeah, My Hero Academia is one of my favorite animes.
He pries the edges of the softened tape away from the board using a razor. He grabs the tape and pulls it off the skateboard. He can now get a better look at the damage done to the board, and he decides it can be salvaged.
Oh, was that what you were thinking about? That's funny, I didn't even...
He sands off the adhesive and the graphics.
It was Chalk
The
Zone.
sanding doesn't remove the turquoise color. The dye has penetrated the wood and is part of its
Fuck off, Nedra.
He cuts off the
Get that
nose
shit out of
and the
here.
tail of the board and discards them. He'll just be using the wheelbases.
Great storyline. I'm kidding. I'm
The next
totally
step
kidding.
is to
I'm
laminate
kidding. If you
5
don't know what it is,
skateboards
don't look it up.
together. He applies
As
a
we
liberal
know,
coat of glue. Spray
Morality in manga and in Japan is very flexible, and it is a story revolving a young boy and a man.
it with a putty knife for complete
And it was so popular that they animated it into a movie.
coverage. He adds the final board to the glued stack and places the stack in a hydraulic clamp. To protect the surface of the skateboards, he sets a wooden board on top. The clamp squeezes the skateboard sandwich together as the glue sets. A day later, he removes the now laminated skateboards. A blade shaves the surface of the stack smooth and brings out the grain. He trims the edges of the stack so that
Okay, I think the only thing that's making it look worse in that corner over there is the fact that the sheetrock is coming up a little bit. That's why it's going like that. It's not the actual wall itself, it's just a sheetrock layering over it. Which will most likely need to be replaced anyways if I ever move out of here. Which I might not. Let's just fucking stay here and let it all fall down and crumble around me. Bury me in it.
And spreads it across the entire edge. He joins another skateboard stack to this one and clamps the two together.
Oh, the mustache flies off the face and goes on the blue guy, right?
Together, they form a
I remember
block
that.
that's large enough to be crafted into an electric guitar body. With a pencil, he traces around a template of a guitar shape to transfer
notice
the
what?
outline to the laminated skateboards.
Oh, the mystery machine, yeah.
Using a bandsaw, he
There's a
cuts
lot
out
of
the
cool
shape.
I got,
The skateboard colors form
and
a
I end up moving it around a lot too. We've got SpongeBob in the patty to go. We've got the mystery machine up there. I've got these figures over here that I swap around every now and then. Oops. We got All Might. We got the infamous and soon to be introduced to the MCU Doctor Doom. We got the Toro Zord. Yeah. Go. Yeah. Nah. We got a bunch of cool stuff. Like I said, I switch it around every now and then. I got a fun troll doll we'll swap out too. Death the Kid, yeah, Death the Kid poster. We got a Kuchikopi right there from Bob's Burgers. If y'all haven't noticed, we have Excalibur right here as well, who is our stream's mascot. And then, of course, the Violator makes an appearance every now and then. Lots of cool stuff, lots of fun. Trinkets. Lots of trinkets all around. And that's not even all of them. I have a bunch of stuff all over this house that I can swap in and out. Grabbing me for the Toro Zord specifically. You are cultured. You are a person of culture.
Template on the guitar body
Out of everything, you choose the Toro Zord.
double-sided tape.
That's a big jar.
With a router,
That's a
he
big
refines the
jar.
profile, giving the guitar smoother lines.
Does the bat have a name? It does not.
Using a
We have
different
not
pattern
given it
as
a name yet.
guide, he routes and drills cavities to accommodate the guitar's neck, electronics, and bridge.
We'll do tours every now and then. I'll pull stuff off the
He
walls to
removes
show
the
y'all.
template and inspects his
Here,
work.
I'll show you a painting that I did.
He sands the edges of the cavity smooth.
Because I'm an artist in
Then
most
he drills
senses.
several holes in the back of the guitar for
Made
attaching
that.
the neck later.
Y'all have seen this. I did this.
With the guitar body
This is a
held
wood
steady in the
burn
clamp, he bores a hole
that
for
I
the input
painted.
jack.
That black spatter's actually not supposed to be there. That was on accident.
After crafting the neck of the guitar from reclaimed skateboards, he files it aggressively to shape
Oops.
it to the desired profile. He then sands the entire neck. The body undergoes an extensive sanding too, and then he coats
I
it
got a
with
lot of
clear
cool stuff all
gloss.
over. Y'all have seen
This is the first of 7 to 8 coats with the sanding in between each one. With curing time, this
My
lacquering
favorite action
process
figures,
takes
though,
3
right?
weeks. After a wet sanding and buffing, the guitar body and neck have a
Austin
mirror
Powers and
finish.
Sigmund Freud.
The guitar maker nestles the neck in the hollow space at the front of the
They
body.
hang on the wall next to each
Screws
other.
it
I'd
in
like to
place
think
from the back
they'd
of the
have good
guitar.
conversations.
This recycled skateboard guitar can now be assembled and wired and is set up to rock. It takes a month to transform some battered old skateboards into a sleek electric guitar.
That was when I made that
Taking
joke
the
a while
half-pipe
back.
for the stage, these skateboards are no longer has-beens.
Yeah, I got a Freud action figure. There's a few other ones over here. I'll show you.
Where should we put all your
We've got this OG Dragon Ball Z figure, and for whatever reason, they gave Vegeta a gun.
Book confirmed connecting rooms for an extra large closet. Or,
As
you
if
know, for your family.
literally being the Prince of all Saiyans wasn't enough. They gave him a gun. With accessories.
For the stay.
Con accesorios.
Extra care makes shopping at CVS
Sábado, sábado, sábado. Sábado gigante.
time you shop, and sale prices on the healthy snacks you crave. We'll email and text you personalized deals on your beauty phase and the wellness finds you can't live without. Scan the extra care card and
Here's my favorite Funko Pop.
birthday gift and the extra bucks rewards you already earned. Leave with 2% back.
You need power levels when you have a gun, right?
Your choice.
He's over 9,000. Well, I've got a gun.
By CVS.
Originating in the Middle East, pita bread has been around for thousands
Pita?
of years. Today, its popularity continues to grow around the globe. Part of its appeal is its versatility. People can stuff the pita's pockets, use it
Pita's
as a sandwich,
pockets! Ah,
or slice
good
it for
one.
dipping.
That was a good one. What else? Hang
Pita
on.
bread may be flat.
I know
but
that there's a
doesn't
few
mean
other
it's
very
boring.
notable things.
Anyone can use pita to
that
make
are
any
worth
number of
showing.
interesting lunchtime combinations.
We've got my
Making
Doom
pita
mask.
bread starts with silos.
I'll wear
full of
this while we
flour.
blow glass sometime.
A
It just
blower
gets hot.
system delivers the flour to an automated sifter. The sifter shakes the flour through 3 levels of mesh to filter out impurities. Magnets extract any metal contaminants. Workers prepare a premix of sugar, salt, yeast, and preservatives. They combine these ingredients with the sifted flour in a big mixer and add water. The mixer is equipped with numerous bars that rotate
Yeah,
horizontally.
there's too many
to blend
things
the
to
ingredients.
try to keep bringing in here and showing y'all. We'll do
The
a full
operator
room
opens
or
the
house
mixer
tour at some
and
point.
spins it one more time
Actually,
to
clean the
eject
house
the dough
first.
into a bin. He rolls the bin to the next station. Here, the pita dough goes into a
Pita.
hopper. And from there, it drops into a machine called a dough divider.
Until tomorrow, Nedra. Appreciate you being here.
This machine
Oh,
turns
3 a.m.,
big
time for
chunks
creme
of
brulee.
dough into many small blobs. To do this, it forces the dough through
I love that we
round
haven't
hole,
done any glass
and the
blowing yet.
guillotine blade chops it to the correct thickness.
It's been 2
The
hours.
dough blobs ride a conveyor and pass under
Hurry
a
up,
roller that
fucking
flattens
laptop. I'm trying to reload chat. This is
Flour
another reason
from an
I need
overhead sifter
a new computer or
dusts the dough
laptop.
blobs
It takes
and
me
keep
5
them from
minutes to
sticking
reload
to the
chat.
machinery. Each one of these flattened dough blobs will eventually become a pita.
Pita! Oh, hiccups.
The round pieces
Oh,
of
chicken.
dough now ride a conveyor up to a warm zone. Over a period of 15 minutes, the yeast ferments, causing the dough to rise. Out of the fermentation station, a roller flattens the pita dough segments again. They're now ready to be rolled very thin in a process known as sheeting. The next roller presses the pita dough much thinner. Rolling it in one direction makes the dough segments oval-shaped. The oval pitas ride by a pusher that now shoves them towards the final roller. It rolls the dough in the other direction to round out the shape and make it even thinner.
Oh, fuck. What did I just do? Two books that I would recommend to everyone. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. My favorite movie ever, which we will watch at some point.
There's a
All of Hunter Thompson's work is absolutely lovely, as well as Party Monster by James St. James. A great, great book and a great movie starring Macaulay Culkin. I forget Fez's real name. Seth Green. Yes, the voice of Chris from Family Guy plays a very gay club kid, which is a murder mystery story as well as a lovely telling of queer culture in New York. Guest starring Marilyn Manson. We're watching glass blowing on TV instead, right? Yeah. Yes, the movie Party Monster is amazing. The book, which obviously came out before the movie, is written by the main character of the movie, or the character of the movie, you know what I mean. Whoa. But, we'll watch this movie at some point. I'll also read you the book, too, if you'd like. We'll do that sooner than later, though, because that will get copyright struck, because it has very famous people in it.
Way to treat HIV. It's every other month injectable Cabenuva. For adults who are undetectable, Cabenuva is the only complete HIV treatment you can get every other month.
Cabenuva helps keep being undetectable. It's 2 injections.
Yeah, we could
given by
do
one healthcare
story
provider every
time at some point. We need to start thinking along the lines of content creation and the fact that we're YouTubers now. Hey guys, we're YouTubers now. You click the and click the subscribe button down below and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The fact that content creation on this app is drastically different. I need to make more content, and it can be me reading. We can do a story time, maybe a short story. Obviously, that's a very long book, but we can do I read you to sleep, and we'll see how popular that gets. I wouldn't be surprised if that got very popular, and that was a very popular or a very common thing that we did. Actually, the funny thing is, the very first commissioned content for the Spicy site that I ever got paid to do was actually to read somebody a bedtime story. I gotta do different voices for the different characters. Okay, I could do that. Definitely more for the animated stuff. We do like actual storytime books. I'll do different voices. But if we were gonna do like actual books like that, like those over there, I would want to show off the audio book voice. You know, maybe get some commissions for that. What's the website that you read to people? You read people's books on, and they pay you for it? Is it Audible? People have told me I should get on that, so that'll be something I'll look into eventually as well.
Originating in the Middle East, pita bread has been around
Sly
for
Rabbit, yeah, it's a
thousands of
great
years.
movie. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, as well as Party Monster, is a great movie. Especially if you're queer, Party Monster is one of the movies you should watch if you're learning about being queer or figuring out what it means and that whole thing. Party Monster, Moulin Rouge. There's a lot. We can go over a bunch of them.
Dust the dough blocks.
But Party
to
Monster
keep
is a
them from
great
sticking to the
modern
machinery.
one.
Each one of these flattened dough blobs will eventually become a pita.
So, well,
The
funny
round
enough,
pieces
it
of dough
was
now ride
suitable
a
for work.
conveyor
It was
to a warm
literally
zone.
me reading,
Over a period of 15.
I think it was Goodnight Moon. Pretty sure it was Goodnight Moon. Literally, just that story to someone. I wasn't scantily clad. What's funny is I actually put a bathrobe on and got my Sherlock at the time, and made it like a fireplace hour, which would also be very fun. We have a lot of potential. There's a lot of different things that we could do along the lines of content creation. We just gotta stay on top of it and do a little bit of it all.
In minutes, the yeast
See what
ferments,
sticks.
causing the dough to rise. Out of the fermentation station, a roller flattens the pita dough.
Moulin Rouge
segments
is
again.
so good, and most people don't realize that Wesley
They're now ready
Snipes
to
is
be
a
rolled
queer
very
icon.
thin in a process known as
Blade
sheeting.
is a queer icon.
The next roller
Maybe not
presses
Blade
the
himself,
pita dough
but
much
Wesley
thinner.
Snipes. You know what I
Rolling
mean?
it in one direction makes the dough segments oval-shaped. The oval pitas ride by a pusher
Pita?
that now shoves them
boss
towards the
is
final
here.
roller. It rolls the dough in the
I like
other
that.
direction to round
This
out
is
the
something
shape.
like that would be what I would show a Victorian person if it was like a competition to see the quickest way to give a Victorian person a heart attack.
Pitas ride by a pusher that now shoves them towards the final roller.
Like, hey, look at this.
It
This is how
rolls
we
the
make
dough
bread.
in the other direction
They
to
go,
round out the
"Whoa!"
shape
and then their head would
make it
explode.
even thinner. Perfectly round and thin, the pitas now travel up to another fermentation operation. Inside, the temperature is toasty. It's warm enough to reawaken
No,
the
I
yeast
feel that, yeah,
and cause
sometimes-
the dough to rise again.
I end up clothless in the bed, but then I wake up and I'm like, oh Lord.
Conveyors move in crisscross
I've been
directions
exposed
to take the
this
pitas
entire
back and
time.
forth. This zigzag
Well, look at
return
that.
lasts about 15 minutes. When the pitas emerge from the chamber, they have thickened
What up,
up
Jay?
substantially.
Or J-Dog. I'll
They
be
head
specific.
into an oven where the magic happens. The oven's temperature is between 750 and 930 degrees Fahrenheit. They spend just 15
Okay, let's
seconds
blow some
in it.
glass for once.
This flash baking causes the water in the dough to turn to steam. The steam puffs the pitas, creating
Pita!
pockets inside. The pitas then travel on conveyors for a 20-minute
What time is
cooldown.
it? I actually
As they
wouldn't
cool,
be
they deflate. The process has created pockets in the pitas. Once sliced open, the pockets can be stuffed to create sandwiches.
Why do I feel like
Workers stack the pitas 6 high.
the
for
delay is
packaging.
way too long between the stream
The next
and...
conveyor delivers the stacks into the clutch of an automated arm.
One sec.
Just ahead, a burst of air opens a bag, and the arm inserts the pitas into it. At the same time, it pushes the bag
Hang on,
onto
let me
the next
grab
conveyor.
this charger.
Moving forward,
totally just fucked
another
up the,
device automatically twists the open end of the
Zoom, didn't
bag.
I? Or the
The
whatchamacallit.
device applies a plastic lock
aperture.
tab to the twisted end
That's-
of the
that's
bag,
okay.
sealing the pita breads inside.
Data.
The bags pass by a metal detector, and then they're on their way to the supermarket. This pita bread has taken 45
Yeah, the
minutes to
delay on the
make
stream
and
is
package,
super
but it
long
should
right now.
enable
I don't know
lunch
if that's
to come together very quickly.
just on my end or what, but I don't like there being that long of a delay. I'd rather have y'all's responses quicker to me saying them because I forget what I say a lot.
The use of leather as an artist medium dates back to the Middle Ages, when it was crafted into fierce animal shapes that were then affixed to battle helmets. Fast forward several centuries, and some artists are rediscovering leather as a sculpting material and redefining the art of sculpture.
Oh, what I was gonna say is I wouldn't
is
mind
what we
watching
imagine.
Party Monster here in a little bit.
In this studio, cowhides become art instead of a sofa or a pair of shoes. It's artistry over utility.
Or we'll do
The
that
artist
tomorrow. We'll
starts
set up
by
for a
developing
movie
a
tomorrow.
pattern. He draws imagery within a paper fish shape. It represents the life cycle of a rainbow trout. He places the pattern on a cowhide. And using a scriber, he lightly etches the fish shape into the leather. Using a razor blade,
No
he
free
follows
shows.
the etched lines to cut out the fish shape. He dampens the entire piece with a wet cloth. This softens the leather to prepare it for the drawings on the pattern, which will be transferred to it. He places the pattern on the dampened leather double. Using a round-tip tool, he traces the drawings. The tool makes light impressions on the supple leather. Following those lines with a swivel knife, he carves the imagery into the leather. When the leather starts to dry, he redampens it. Then, with the wedge tool and mallet, he depresses the leather around the main artwork. This raises the images above the background. He hammers a disc-tip tool into the leather to make a fisheye indentation.
Everything looks
Using
better
an
with
actual
fisheye.
stone, he lightly pounds the rocks in the image. This transfers the stone's texture to the leather.
He just hits it with a rock.
Also uses the rock to create shading on the trout and the foliage. For the fish scale detail, he pounds a tool with a crescent-shaped tip into the leather.
Yeah, I was gonna say they don't have just like a tool for that texture. They just use a rock.
To punch tight scales across much of the art. This creates a textural symmetry throughout the piece. Turning to a second matching fish shape, he shaves leather from the back of the fins to give them a lighter, more realistic look. He applies glue to the edges. This plain fish shape will
This
serve as
we're
the
not
back
gonna
of the
attach
sculpture.
mushrooms to. This one is the one that we dropped yesterday, so it's got
He applies
some
more
residue
fins to the glue
there at the
areas of
bottom.
underbelly of the fish
So this will
art.
be a seconds piece.
He then brings the two sides of the fish together and
that-
close them, leaving
That is one that we can do for much cheaper than any of the others. If anybody wants that piece, we can do it for 35 shipped. We'll do that specifically for y'all. 50 with a bowl.
the bottom fins and the mouth open. Using an industrial sewing machine for leather.
You have to leave your
he
windows
stitches the
open?
fish
Your
together
apartment
with
manager
heavy
says
nylon
so?
thread.
Or you can't, wait, what? You can't close your...
This fish art is now ready to
Lines?
go from flat to 3D.
Oh,
He
okay,
stuffs
so big glass
polyester
sliding door.
fill into it. The leather has been moistened again so that when it dries, it will shrink tight to the filling.
I don't always have seconds pieces just because obviously
As he stuffs the leather,
things
he
don't
uses a wooden rod to distribute
always
the
not
filling.
turn out as they should. We'd rather them turn out
He then
as they
glues a
should.
carved leather fish mask
But
onto the
sometimes
face.
there is what we call
This adds
second
drama to the
quality,
piece.
or just not as great as they should be for first quality. Usually, there's nothing wrong with them physically or like function-wise. Maybe. Oh, I actually have another one over here as well. This one's going to be a seconds, so it looks like there's a crack in the back of it, in the bottom, right? It's not necessarily. It's not actually a crack. It's just unfortunately part of what happened while we were making it. This one also actually will be a seconds rig. This is a really nice one because of that mark there. I don't know if you can see it. I'm not on the other side of the torch right now, or the other side of the camera, but this one is also a seconds rig. This one will be cheaper. This one's a removable stem. Oop. Fine for decorations, kind of like the HOA.
He trims the mask. Then he applies a rainbow of color to the trout, beginning with
I
a
don't need it.
silvery shade of
I
white.
don't need it.
He paints an olive green shade on the top of the fish sculpture and a pinkish
We'll
red
do more
in the middle.
giveaways soon as well, don't worry.
This reflects the colors of the rainbow trout.
Honestly, the next giveaway will probably only be in about 10 days, like we've said, when we monetize. If that's when we're going to do that, it should be 2 weeks at most from now for our next giveaway.
He dabs black paint on the fish sculpture to replicate the spots normally found
Oh
on
no, the
trout.
pride flags, yeah,
He
that's
then marks
probably
the fish sculpture
what
extensively
it is
with
for
silver and
them.
white speckles.
Dude, even people who aren't like
He defines some of the
innately
edge lines with the
homophobic,
same
like
paint
just like
to make
like
the
most
image
parents
bolder.
just don't generally approve of outwardly being homosexual, and it's wild.
The artist signs the leather fish. Making the entire leather sculpture takes over a month. Now it's ready for public viewing.
When we all pay attention out on the road, we all stay safe. Like crossing only at intersections and crosswalks. That way everyone has a good day. Maybe someone just like you.
Today.
Bookmaking has evolved over time, from scrolls to writing on sheets of paper bound together to the invention of the printing press. People continue to develop new ways of recording history. Today, thanks to digital technology, the possibilities of recording the spoken word are endless.
Speaking of pride stuff, I need to swap out or
A fine
turn
bookmaking
around
specialist makes just a few
my pride
limited
flag here
edition
because
books
it's
per
fucking
year,
completely
using traditional
sun
printing and
bleached.
binding techniques.
So you can't even fucking tell it's a pride flag anymore. It just looks
Production
like
begins with a
an
case of
off-colored
tiny
like
brass
beach towel.
molds. One mold, called a matrix, contains letters, numbers, and punctuation marks.
Is it because you're in a heteronormative
typecasting
relationship mood?
specialist inserts the matrix case into a machine called a monotype composition caster and melts lead alloy ingots in the machine's gas-heated
Oh,
body.
you're new, mama.
Guided by a computer, the machine casts one character at a time for every word of the book. The
Are you still at home,
program
Sky?
assigns a location code to every matrix. To cast a character,
The
program
Matrix.
communicates a specific code through plastic tubes, while puffs of air align that character's matrix with the injection nozzle.
Oh,
The
gotcha.
nozzle dispenses molten lead into
Gotcha.
the matrix, while the machine ejects the cast character onto a tray called the galley.
Whoa.
As the lines
book
of text
printing,
exit the
they
machine,
said?
the typecast specialist inserts a strip of lead to
Whoa.
create spacing, called leading, between each line. He transfers the galley to the press room, where a proofing press spreads
Interesting.
ink on the type. He places a sheet of newsprint over the galley and releases an impression roller. The roller prints the characters onto the paper, generating a proof.
Huh.
Meanwhile,
Same
a
with mine,
typesetter
we've
assembles
talked
the
about
larger display
the
pattern
dynamic
manually
there.
by placing
She
individual letters
Respects
into a
my
composition
pronouns,
stick.
but
This method was used for
Voted
all
for
copy
Trump?
prior to the invention of the
Twice?
automatic typecasting machines in the 1890s.
James is adopting all of us.
Books printed in large sizes of type must be made entirely by manual
Oh,
typesetting.
gotcha, Sky. That's better than what I was thinking then. I was like, oh no,
Once
not a safe
complete,
place.
Multiple galleys that make up several pages of the book are placed in a steel frame called a chase and loaded into the printing press.
This is the kind of
This
only
cylinder
other live
press
that I've
feeds
sort
one
on
sheet of
TikTok
paper at a time.
that is any
Workers that
sort
pull the
of
paper around the
productive
cylindrical
or
roller.
like educational. There's one guy who
As the
does
roller rotates,
hand
the
rolling
paper drops onto the
prints.
ink type,
He's fucking
printing
adorable.
the
He's an old
characters
man
into the
who
sheet.
loves doing little print work.
One press sheet typically contains 8 pages per side.
I guess it dries
Another
pretty quick.
machine folds the sheets. Then bookbinders manually collate groups of 16 consecutive pages to form sections of the book called signatures. Next,
I enjoy how we have a
bookbinder sews
wide
the
range
signatures
of age
together
in here
one
as
at a
well.
time until the book is fully assembled.
Obviously, we want to keep it
This
mature,
method of bookbinding,
and if there
called
was anybody
Smith-sewn binding, after
18
its
and under,
19th century
they're
inventor,
welcome here.
is at
Obviously, the
highest
content is supposed to not be for
quality
18 and under,
because
but
pages can't fall
we don't
out
really
or be
do
removed.
anything that crazy explicit all the time. But I do like the fact that we have a very wide range
Like the binding,
here.
the
Mainly
book
because we have a
cover
lot
is
of there's again a lot of different stuff. It's not just glass blowing. It's not just me talking about gender identity and sexuality and fucking current events and political science and all that stuff, or us just watching informational stuff. We've got a lot to offer, and I think that's a very cool thing about our channel and what we're going to be able to do is build dynamically and do just like fucking everything. Because not only are we educators and teachers and students, we're learning at the same time. Like, if we got big enough, I'd love to go and do stuff like this ourselves and go and see how stuff like this is made and stream it for y'all and get tours and stuff like that. I actually had a dream like that last night because of this stuff like this. I have a very warm memory as a child doing a tour of a bread factory. It was the Mrs. Baird's bread factory that we did a tour of, and I remember it like it was yesterday. This little story that the old Hispanic lady told us that at the end everyone got a sample of powdered sugar donuts, which was my favorite at the time. I also like chocolate now, so I don't say it's my favorite. But at the end we got a fresh baked little Mrs. Baird's mini sugar donut, the cinnamon, or not the cinnamon sugar, the powdered sugar donuts. And she goes, and I remember one time on one of these tours, I handed a little girl one of these donuts. She licked off all of the icing on it and then handed it back to me. And that's, I remember it like it was yesterday, her telling that story, because I busted out laughing because I imagine that is exactly something that I would have done. And having her having said that, I like processed it and I was like, well, I'm glad you told me not to do that. Like I would have done it or something, but yeah. Good memories. I remember smelling the bread. I remember seeing it go through. There was another joke about older than sliced bread, R.I.P. Betty White. Something along the lines of that. But yeah, we have a lot of dynamic content and a lot of different avenues to explore, and I'm excited to do so with y'all.
Meticulously handcrafted. A bookbinder hot glues a piece of cloth to the back of the cover. The cover is made of flexible paper and thick cardboard.
Well, I love that, Jay. Yeah, it's wild
Then
how
she flattens the cloth on all sides.
What's wild is my mom was actually in a polyamorous relationship in and after college. She was in a FFM relationship and functioned as a polyamorous relationship. And the more I asked about her about it, I was like, yeah, you were a polycule. You all were dating each other, right? And she was like, yeah, we all lived together and we were dating each other. And I was like, and you liked them the same or not the same? They were different, and you liked her and him? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, so you're bisexual and polyamorous? She was like, yeah. And I was like, what? This is a big deal. Why? What? And then she voted for Trump twice.
Using a razor blade, the bookbinder makes a slit for the cloth.
Tennessee
where she'll place
wineries.
a recessed
Oh,
label
the wine
in.
crackers. Love that.
This enables the cloth to spread out and form to the spine's rounded shape. The cloth is pressed firmly against the structural components.
Yeah, there's a
with
lot of
plastic
museums we could do
tool
as
called
well.
a
So stuff like that would make me very happy, because not all museums everybody can go see. So like obviously the ones here in Dallas would be ones that I would go to first, and we could go and tour those, and I could live stream and do a little tour through there. But would also love to go to different places and do that. Start doing content about traveling in the different museums in the areas.
Another bookbinder attaches the cover to the bound pages, called the book.
For sure, Lucinda.
First, she applies glue to both components.
Right, that's how it should be. But then she doesn't understand the
Then
disconnect
she
between the
positions
fact
the
that
book block on the cover
she's a conservative and a Republican.
and presses them
It's
together.
like you realize if like you had your way, that wouldn't have been possible.
She places the book
she's like,
in
"Yeah."
a nipping press
And I'm just
that
like-
puts pressure around the spine, fusing the book block and cover together. Then the
You can't
front
do
and
anything
back
about
of the cover are glued to the first and last pages of the book.
There's
The
only
book
so many
then
times
sits
you
in
can have the
another
same
press
conversation
overnight,
with someone
bringing this bookmaking story
before it's
to a
literally just
close.
you banging your head into a wall. Oh yeah, if you lock the screen, it'll pause. Too much. Not only is it too much movement, but it was too much jewelry all at once. Slow the movement down, and it would have been fine with the amount of jewelry.
The first jigsaw puzzle was invented
Ooh.
in Europe in 1760.
What?
Nearly 2 centuries later, a
That puzzle
Canadian
goes up?
inventor reshaped the popular pastime. His puzzle pieces, made of thick foam rather than cardboard, could stand upright, turning the
Yo!
puzzle into a 3-dimensional model.
My autism is just like,
Constructing a
Give it to
3D
me.
puzzle produces impressive results.
oh,
To do so, two
oh.
800-piece puzzle sets are used to create this spectacular
What if they
castle
imagine if they have a Hogwarts one?
An industrial designer creates the puzzle's
A Hogwarts
three-dimensional
buildable
structure.
puzzle
An
vertically?
illustrator uses techniques
Oh, God.
such
Oh,
as
geez.
visual textures and shading.
Yeah, do you know how
to
expensive that would be?
transform flat graphics
That
into
would
a
be-
three-dimensional rendering.
That would be very
The industrial
expensive. That would be
designer
a
prepares the
branded
printing
merch
cutting
and
layout,
specialty
fitting up to 3 puzzles per
release
sheet.
stuff, you know?
The puzzle pieces are made from rigid foam. The foam is specifically engineered to be chemically compatible with the paper graphics and proprietary adhesive. A technician feeds 1 sheet at a time into a custom-designed lamination machine. The first station spreads hot glue over the top of the foam sheet. An automated arm with vacuum suction cups lifts a single sheet
Oh,
of
yeah.
printed paper and places it on the glue-coated foam sheet.
Yeah, puzzles
As soon
have
as the
always
paper
been
adheres
one
to
of my
the foam,
favorite things.
The sheet is released.
So funny
from the
enough is
suction
I
cups.
used to do them upside down, and puzzles and doing them upside down are
Then the
both
foam
very
moves
heavy
under
signs
a
of
roller
autism.
that presses down the paper. As the laminated foam exits the machine,
Oh,
a
look at that.
technician rolls a tube over the foam,
Why?
pressing
That
out
it?
any remaining air bubbles to ensure the paper adheres fully. In the development phase,
Same, yeah,
the
I
industrial
absolutely
designer
love.
assembled
Oh,
a
look at
blueprint
that!
for how
Oh,
the
that.
puzzle pieces would
Oh,
be shaped and laid out.
I like
that
that.
design went to a tool maker who produced a corresponding cutting die out of
Oh
steel
man,
knives.
let me lay on it. Press me in it.
The die is
build
mounted
me into a
inside the
castle.
cutting machine.
Build me like one of your French
A
castles.
technician feeds the machine 1 laminated foam sheet at a time, paper side down. Grippers grab the edge of the paper.
Get them
pulling the
grippers
sheet
out
into
of
the
here.
machine. The cutting die slices the puzzle pieces into the foam.
Let me go take a rip real
Even
quick,
though the
and
cutting
then
pressure
we will
compresses the
continue
foam,
our glass
it
blowing. We're gonna do a late
immediately
night
bounces
tonight.
back,
If y'all can't tell, I've
keeping the
got
sheet
great
intact.
energy, and we're gonna keep going with it.
Thanks to a high-quality rubber sheet.
Obviously, we
inserted
also
between
need
the
to,
blades, the
stream
pieces
for as
don't
long
get
as
stuck
possible.
in the die.
Until we
The
monetize.
stiff rubber provides counter pressure to help remove the foam sheet.
Oh yeah, not Moon.
If the sheet has
Till
2 or
next time,
3
friends.
puzzles printed on
Always
it,
my pleasure.
the cutting die separates them. Then, a technician places the puzzle on a semi-automatic conveyor belt that moves it to the dismantling
God,
machine.
I can't wait to have a better
The
computer.
machine infuses the die-cut puzzle sheet with steam. The steam prevents static electricity, which causes pieces to cling together, or to the inside of the machine. The machine separates the pieces and dispenses them into a puzzle box.
Okay, let me go take a rip.
A technician adds the standard instruction sheet and
You gotta
seals
sleep
the
too, Jay?
box.
That's valid. I get it. I get it.
The instructions are in black and white, but can be viewed in color online. The first step is to sort the pieces by color and design, and set aside the ones marked with a red dot, which is part of the manufacturing process, not the puzzle itself. The next step is to assemble the puzzle section by section. All the sections are flat, so the final step is to attach the flat sections to make the puzzle three-dimensional. For an additional challenge, you can forego the step-by-step instructions and refer only to the photos on the box. If you happen to lose a puzzle piece, you can go to the company's website to trace the number of your missing piece. Then order a new piece online. The company will mail it to you so that you can complete your puzzle. Unlike a traditional flat puzzle, you can move your 3D puzzle without it falling apart. It takes 4 to 6 months to develop and design this incredible 3D puzzle. Now it's time to spend even longer piecing this puzzle together.
Your father knows about saving money. Everything I've had since baby.
And I just saved on my car insurance for driving safe with USA.
Flexes with fit to fit. That's what we're made for.
Good night, Sly. Until next time.
Thousands of years ago, our earliest ancestors might have taken a rock and spun it between their hands to bore a hole in
Jackbox
something
party
they
packs.
wanted to modify.
Send me a message on
Today,
whatever
you can
that
buy
is. I'm
drill
open
bits
to
in all
pretty much
shapes and
anything, but
sizes.
I am not exactly sure what a Jackbox. Oh, like
Drill bits
wait.
are often associated
Yeah,
with
you all have to
but
explain
from
what that is. to me.
electronics to
Good night, Jay.
surgery,
Until next time.
There are all kinds of fields that require ultra.
Sounds good, and I'll shoot you that
high-performance drill bits.
that tracking tonight.
The production process begins with lengths
Sorry,
of
I'm still recovering
100%
from that fucking
carbide
death.
called blanks.
Brain's not working at full
A
capacity yet.
diamond grinding wheel lubricated with a specialized cutting wheel is applied to a chamfered edge on one tip of the blank. This step removes the rough edges left when the blanks were cut down to size. A vibrating device organizes the blanks inside a rotating bowl. The vibrating action shifts the blanks into single file so they can
It's so humid, my
one by
fucking
one to
glasses
the
are
next
fogging
step.
up.
This machine is called a centerless grinder. The blanks move between two rotating drums, which grinds them down to a specified length. The blanks pour out of the
dripping
machine,
oil.
immersed in the lubricating fluid. An operator selects one and places it in a quality control gauge to check that it meets the manufacturer's required tolerances. The blanks now enter a CNC roll-o-matic.
A roll-o-matic.
An operator sets up the tool and programs its work process. A robotic
roll-o-matic.
picks up the blanks one by one from a specialized pallet. The robotic arm places each blank carefully and precisely in a
Thank you, Jay.
chuck or collar, and then moves them back into position. The tool moves forward.
Oh yeah, of course,
holding
Mitho.
the blank perfectly still as a pair of
We can do
wheels
a
goes
few
in.
different types. I also would like to do like
Liquid
Fall
coolant
Guys.
pours over the blank. As
Do
the
Fall
wheels
Guys,
precision pinch grind the tip of
multiverses.
the blank, grinding
I'd
it
like
down
to
to
do,
about 1/10 of a millimeter, the
Forza.
width of a human hair. It's a delicate process. The roll-o-matic produces 48 pieces per hour.
We'll for sure do some
Next, A technician
Some different
places
kinds. I know
small
not
sheets of
everybody
plastic
likes
foil in a jig.
first-person shooters or
The foil is shim stock, color-coded according
fighting
to its
games.
thickness. The jig raises the metal support to a specified height. When the blank advances over the support, a mark left in the blue ink determines whether the metal blank is centered. Once complete, technician uses a magnifying tool to fine-tune the placement of the blank and ensure that it's perfectly centered. This process can take 4 to 5 hours. The blank is finally ready for the crucial fluting process that will transform it from a cylindrical length of carbide with a narrow tip into a micro drill bit. After hours of preparation, this operation takes just a few seconds. An industrial grinding diamond wheel
that'd be fun.
sliced a microscopic groove
We
at
can
a
do a bunch of
precise
different
angle.
stuff.
The technician inserts the bit, sharp end first, into a precision machine device.
Especially when we actually
The steel
start making
portion
money
of the
doing
brass
so.
insert holds
The only
tip of
thing
the bit in place
is I'm also
as the cutting wheel
quite
slices
broke
an
right now,
angled point.
so we're doing my job at the same time. So as soon as we
It's
start making
impossible to
more
see
money,
the difference
we'll
between
have a
the
lot
bit
more
before
flexibility and
and
freedom to
after
do
fluting.
more of what we want. And
Using
we will
a
definitely
magnifying device,
utilize that
the technician
and
conducts
take
a
advantage
quality
of those
control
times
check of the
because
bit.
I will get
As
burnt
the
out
screen
eventually.
reveals
We
the
can't
finely
keep going
cut
at this
flute,
pace forever.
The technician ensures the tool's parameters meet manufacturing standards. One such parameter has to do with the shape of the flute, which has a forward taper. This means the flute
For sure, we could even
becomes
do like
shallower
Among Us
from
at some
tip
point
to
because you
base
can play that on
at
a
a
phone.
very precise angle. This feature simultaneously strengthens the tool while
Among Us
increasing the
on
chip
phone
flow
with
along
Discord
the groove.
is very doable for
Although
everybody.
carbide is incredibly strong, when it's milled to the thickness of a human hair, it
Or
becomes
similar stuff
fragile.
like that.
Needless to say, careful packaging is extremely important.
Oh, his hair. Okay, Urban Outfitters, I like it. Yeah. Little baggy, little sportwear-esque. Oh yeah, we'll make sure to get everybody in. We want to make sure to cover all the bases. No promises when that'll happen though.
Belts have been worn with different types of garments since the invention of clothes.
Definitely would like to
Need
upgrade
cinch your
the
waistline.
system before
This
trying
accessory
to
is worn with pants, shirts,
expand it,
robes,
you know?
or dresses, making a
Oh, yeah,
fashionable
love scary
addition
movies.
to any outfit.
Definitely.
Durable and flexible, leather is a classic material used for belt making. This production
We can watch scary
facility
movies, we'll watch some other
manufactures
stuff eventually as well.
high-quality belts at top
It's just
speed.
very convenient to have a bunch of these how it's made in a row.
A designer creates a belt pattern on her computer and sends the design electronically to the in-house laser etching machine. A craftsman places a cowhide on a large table. He examines the hide for any flaws and carefully marks each one. The cowhides are made from meat industry byproducts and most are sourced from Italy. A device scans the shape of the hide and the craftsman digitally marks the location of the flaws.
This is that one that cracked, so we're just gonna melt it back in.
A specialized cutting machine uses the marked information.
My
to create
favorite
efficient
scary
series of cuts.
movie.
This process results in a high-quality product.
Damn,
with
that's a
minimal
really good
waste.
question. Because I am a fan of
Another
movies.
technician
Hang on, I'm
sourced
gonna have to
the
think
various
about
belts.
this. I'm a fan of movies in general, so I've seen a lot of them. As above, so below. That's a safe bet. That kind of covers all the bases of movies that I like, or the genres of scary movie that I like. So as above, so below will probably be my favorite pick on that list. Closely followed by Sinister, the Sinister series, and a movie called The Devil's Pass, which is a movie. It's not a scary movie. It's suspenseful, but it goes over the Dyatlov Pass incident, which I am a fan of. Oh, Chernobyl, the Chernobyl Diaries. How could I forget that? The Chernobyl Diaries is a great, great movie. Yeah. Chernobyl Diaries and the Devil's Pass are very, very similar. If you like one, you'll like the other. Cabin in the Woods, great movie. Not necessarily scary, in my opinion, though. That's more of a monster flick, in my opinion. A monster flick / gore. Scary to me is suspense / jump scare. The Descent. So I take my second back. What did I say for number one? Whatever number one is, and then number two is The Descent. Oh, I said As Above, So Below is number one. The Descent as number two. If you don't know what that is, The Descent is a movie about spelunking or cave exploring. Great premise, great jump scares, great cinematography, and you feel claustrophobic the entire time. Insidious series, by science, arguably the scariest movie ever. Or the scariest series ever. The heartbeats per minute of that is higher than any movie ever. Ever recorded, of course. The jump scare, that is the red man standing behind the father's shoulder, is the highest monitored heart rate for a movie that has been recorded so far. And is admittedly the scariest thing I've seen in a movie also in a very, very long time. Nothing's come close to that. A couple of jump scares, one jump scare in The Descent is similar, but the red man in Sinister, that one scene is unrivaled. Absolutely just fucking, oh yeah, still gives me chills. Because you're not expecting it. You're not expecting it. The movie score, the music is very, very important for me for a suspenseful or a scary movie. I don't want it to be just loud noises. It needs to be somebody who studied music, who knows what notes are going to make you feel a certain way. Sinister does that very much so. The tiptoe through the meadow. Even just me doing that now, it freaks most people out. Similar to Freddy Fazbear. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. But Sinister, the score in Sinister, that scene where it and he's standing there, his face is red, so it's jump scare, score, color, cinematography, all of that is everything, it's all there for Sinister. So that's got to be my favorite series. I am a big fan of found footage. I adore the VHS series, but I classify that different than scary movies, because gore to me is not scary. Gore to me, it pushes the envelope of a different genre of uneasy feeling, but I know it's not happening to me, you know. So you gotta pose it in a certain way that it affects you mentally, not scares you physically, you know. So different genre for me, although there are some great gore films. They all pretty much just border on the line of snuff films. And it's all just gratuitous misogyny too. It's all just it's all just about women. It's always, so that's why I like what's the movie? Is a Serbian film the one where she gets revenge? I think a Serbian film is the one where she gets revenge, but again, the whole premise is misogyny and violent misogyny, and how they get revenge after that. So, Great redemption movie, great premise and plot, but from a different perspective. Also, why I'm a big fan of the third Hostel movie, because they flip the dynamic. They make it a girl main character. And so yeah, I like that. If it's just gratuitous misogyny and snuff, it's very lazy in my opinion. Because that's just shock value. That's just sheer shock value. There's no creativity behind it. It's been done over and over and over again, and it's really only scary because it happens in reality, you know? I think it's lazy. Oh, here we go again. Here's another SA scene or another R-word scene. Alright, let's fucking, here we go again. Oh, how different can they make this scene? Not different at all? Same as the last one? Gotcha. Yeah, Human Centipede. Great movie. Great, again, though, it's not scary. It is very shock value, but it is a shock value that pushed the envelope like never been before. The closest we had come to a snuff film in cinema was the Saw movies, which pretty much were snuff films. Also a great series, arguably my favorite gore series. But yeah, Human Centipede, it was nothing like anybody had ever seen before. It was shock value for shock value, but it didn't involve the same dynamic that most shock value movies had before it. There have been scientific horrors before, like The Fly, and what's the other one? Tusk. But nothing that was centered around this kind of subject matter before. And if you're a fan of Human Centipede and you haven't seen Tusk or The Fly, you should. It's Jeff Goldblum and in The Fly, and what's his name from Donnie Darko as the Tusk. Wait, no, it's not him from Donnie Darko. Is that him from Donnie Darko? It is him from Donnie Darko. Would you rather? Yeah, and what's actually really funny about that is Ricky from Trailer Park Boys is a main character. I couldn't take it seriously because of that. It's a great movie, and he did great as a serious character, but as soon as I saw him, I remembered I was watching a movie. I was just waiting for him to ask for some pepperoni and some smokes. Again, just a great character. He's a great dynamic actor and was perfect for that role, but me having seen Trailer Park Boys so many times spoiled it for me, you know? But yeah, again, I love movies. Movies is another one of my autistic dives and delves. So scary movies, gore movies, found footage films, great subject matter as well. Unfortunately, can't get into a whole lot of them with copyright the way they are, but we can talk about them. We can maybe go over the list of the iceberg list of the one that gets worse and worse, and talk about the premise of each of the films, and I can maybe suggest a few of them to you. I know some people might not want to watch certain subject matter, but you still may be a fan of gore movies or horror movies or thrillers, but you have specific trauma. I think that would be a cool thing to go after is trauma-safe horror movies or trauma-safe titles that you can still partake in without having to be completely terrified if you're going to be absolutely triggered by the next scene that comes up. Which is valid. I mean, again, most of the scary shit that goes on in scary movies now is just rampant misogyny and violent misogyny at that. It's just, oh no, she got taken again. Oh no, it's all the same. It's lazy. Very lazy. And then they go, okay, we'll have a woman do it. And she's like, no, fuck you, shut the fuck up. That's just as lazy, if not worse. You're just literally flipping the dynamics. More fun to watch because we haven't seen it as much, you know. We can do the girl boss, yeah, because we aren't used to it. And but then you boil it down and it's just like, oh, this is pretty much the same thing. And again, obviously you can watch it because you haven't seen a bunch of it, and it's like, this is different. But then you boil it down and it's like, wait, this is just misandry now, and it's just as lazy of writing as the misogyny is. Found footage. Analog horror. Do you mean like the genre, or do you mean the movie? Because VCR is my absolute favorite gore film series. Honestly, a very scary movie as well, depending on which one you watch. Rocky Horror Picture Show, absolute favorite. 100% classic. I actually costumed Dr. Frankenfurter wearing lingerie before I came out, and very quickly realized that I very much enjoyed wearing lingerie. The genre, yes. Oh yeah. Analog as in like real VHS stuff or VHS style things? You talking real stuff, or you talking the VHS movies? Say, 'cause no real stuff around here. We don't do that. That's what the deep web is for. We grew up with that unbridled access to the internet, and I got my fill of that. Now I'm trying to find actual creative content that will rival that, if that makes sense. The shock value that me seeing the real stuff for the first time had on the internet, still chasing that high. I'm damaged. Backrooms type stuff, I love the backrooms. I'm a fan of the backrooms and ICP. Whoop whoop. I meant not the backrooms, and then not creepypasta. What are the scary stories? You know what I'm talking about. The scary stories of the scary monsters, like fucking Slender Man, but not the creepypasta ones. SCP, thank you. Not ICP, that's the Insane Clown Posse. Oh yeah, Sky, I know what you're talking about. So mixed, intentionally, not necessarily movies, but content that makes you feel uneasy, if that's what you mean. If y'all have seen The Office, it's that VHS that what's his name plays, the weird tall one with the black hair that makes everyone feel uncomfortable, and Stanley goes, "Is that my mother?" And it's just a video of her eating like a pancake or something. Yeah. There's another name for it. I actually got invited to a premiere of one of the videos. There's a really cool name for it, where it's made to feel like home movies, but they make you feel weird. They make you scared. They make you feel unsafe. Sort of like how the Backrooms do. But it's more curated content, where it's like kind of like maybe childhood memories that are put together in a certain way that you think something's bad's gonna happen. Yeah, there's whole movies like that where it's just sequences of tension, sequences of anxiety. Yeah, good stuff. Not necessarily a fan of it myself, because I get enough of that in real life, just with my disorders and various mood whatnots. But yes, definitely an interesting genre to delve into. Some people do it very well, because it does end up looking like found footage. You find a fucking VHS and you pop it in, and it's like you're viewing an alternate reality of like a dream realm where a kid's birthday party is on fire, but nobody's doing anything about it. Stuff like that, you know. You just go wild in your mind, and you push it. You go far into it. Yeah, good stuff. Paranormal Activity, yeah, a great found footage film as well. If you like Paranormal Activity, you'd like VHS, specifically the second and third one. The first one is very visceral. The first one is very exactly what it is. The first one is pretty much a snuff film. The first VHS film is the first exploration of that style that they did. And so they did it as black and white as possible. And then in the second one, they added more like lore to it, you know. The second one has like actual storylines to it, a lot more followable and more popular themes to it. And then the third one is very, very cool. The third one is, I would recommend, if you've watched the first and second one and you haven't found the third one, you need to watch the third one, because the first and the second one are actually connected into the third one. Bell Witch, oh yeah. Yeah, Sky. We're talking the same language. It's literally backroom style stuff, but with actual content, to where you feel like you're somewhere you shouldn't be, and you can't really get out of it, and you keep watching it, and it's like, I feel like I've been here before, and yeah, good stuff. The American Haunting, oh yeah. I'll make some lists. We'll watch some movies. We'll get into it. I've got some great recommendations of some different things we could watch. Like I said, I'm a movie buff. Regardless of what genre y'all can toss out, and we can do a movie night to where we don't worry about uploading the video or something, and don't have to worry about copyright, and we can watch a movie. That would be fun. I got a bunch of different movies I would like to watch with y'all. It would be nice to have the green screen set up for that, though, so you don't have to watch a really, really good movie on half a screen.
Lengths into containers, preparing them for the next step. The cutting machine is capable of slicing up to 2,400 belts per day. The cutting machine creates straight, sharp-edged strips. The technician feeds the belts into a machine that bevels the edges at the rate of 6,000 per day. At the next station, a series of small suction devices quickly lift and place each belt on a conveyor system. A stamping machine accurately cuts the shape of the belt tip and the holes for the prong.
Haunting, ghost activity stuff. Have you seen, give me a minute, I'll think of a bunch of them.
The craftsman stacks a group of
in that
belts
genre
and packs them tightly together. Then he dyes the edges with ink and sands them down.
Dang, and of course, as soon as I start to try to think,
These
it
steps
just,
complement
my
the
brain goes
edge-cutting
blank.
machine process, which can add color to the belt edges. Then the belts are transferred to a drying machine. The edges must be completely dry before they move to the
Amityville
next
Horror,
step.
of course, is always a classic.
Powered by World War II cheap engines,
Of course, Blair Witch as
rotating
well.
wooden drum tumbles the belts while simultaneously burnishing the leather. This type of machinery comes from Italy's
The
famous
Alchemist
leatherworking
Cookbook.
region.
If you like ghosts,
This imported machine from Milan
specifically
punches
maybe
out the pattern
demons,
perforations,
you'd like the
making
Alchemist
the belt's
Cookbook. We
signature
talked about
design
that last
elements.
night.
Since the machine's guide is less than 20 inches long, the complex pattern along the belt can't be stamped at once. Instead, the machine punches out a section at a time, resulting in a production rate of 1,400 belts per day. A laser etching machine burns a second pattern into the leather surface. This pattern was created by the designer prior to production.
What up, Sky?
At the next station, a craftswoman fills the holes of a specially crafted
Let's go stuff after the
with
stream?
nail
Hell yeah.
heads. The nail heads are made of zinc with a brass finish. Using a press, an operator places the die in a waiting repository. She removes the top half ensuring that all of the holes are filled with nail
I'm
heads.
trying to think of some other scary movies
Then
that are
she
really
turns
good.
the belt around and places it over the die before sliding the belt inside the press.
Trying to think of more movies along the lines
The
of
press
As Above,
affixes
So
the nail
Below.
heads to the leather.
As Above, So Below, The Alchemist Cookbook.
Before attaching the buckle, the belts go through a process called skidding. This device shaves off a section of the leather so that
The
when it's folded
Lazarus
over,
effect.
it won't be too thick.
If you have not
A
seen the
loop is
Lazarus
attached to the end
effect,
of the belt,
should
followed by
definitely
a buckle.
see the Lazarus
The
effect.
craftswoman uses
It's kind of the same
loop to
movie as
temporarily hold the buckle and
Redliners,
tag in place.
if you've
The
seen that
tag
one.
contains the belt size, price, and brand information. Another craftswoman sews the belt buckle and tag in place using 69 weight thread and a bar tacking stitch. This facility manufactures nearly 10,000 belts per day.
Yeah, The Alchemist Cookbook
This
is a really good
intricate
movie
leather
about
fashion accessory
invoking
might be a
the
cinch
devil
to wear,
himself.
but not to make.
But it's a kind of a, it's not a found, it is a found footage film. It's the person reporting it themselves. But there is other point of views and perspectives in it as well. Snow on the Bluff
has become a popular
is a great
sport,
one as well.
but paddle
Not
boards-
many people have seen Snow on the Bluff. It's a found footage film about life in the hood, about a drug dealer who goes to war with another drug dealer. Great fucking movie. Just amazing cultural movie. A first person perspective on culture. One that you find in many parts of the USA. If you don't know much about it and the dynamics of that culture, Snow on the Bluff is amazing. Gang culture, drug culture, but like heavy drugs, hard drugs, the money drugs, and stuff like that. That would be a great movie to watch as well. We'll add that to the list.
Been around for over 3,000 years. Contemporary boards rely on modern materials to make light and reliable paddle boards, suited for leisure as well as for competition. This paddle board is made with vinyl ester resin and laminated fiberglass. It's
Vinyl
equipped with
ester?
an onboard lighting system, an anchor, and a neoprene rubber non-slip pad.
You said
In the
vinyl
gel
ester, right?
coating room, a technician wipes a release agent on the paddleboard mold to make the surface smooth and clean. Another technician positions the fin channel on the mold using a thin fiberglass template as a guide.
You sure you're not schizophrenic, Lucinda?
He uses an airless pumping system to spray the mold with the vinyl ester gel coating mixed with...
I sure am.
He takes a mill gauge to make sure the hull thickness is even. A technician prepares to make the first structural layer of the hull.
And being
using a
schizophrenic and also
3/4 ounce
believing in
bidirectional fiberglass mat.
mysticism and the Gnostic
First,
world is
he
an
pulls out
interesting
a panel of
combination.
Fiberglass and covers
Because
the
you have to keep them
gel-coated
both
surface.
constant.
Using fabric scissors, he cuts the mat and makes the fiberglass skin
And
as
a lot of
tight as
times they
possible.
don't want to stay constant.
He tears the mat to conform it to the rounded shape of the gel coat and fits the mat to the edge of the hull. He applies vinyl ester resin with a paint roller. The resin saturates the fiberglass, which merges with the gel coating. Extra material is placed over the fin channel to strengthen the structural bond between the channel and the hull. Then, the technician uses a bubble roller to push out air bubbles. He applies a second coat of fiberglass to reinforce the structural integrity of the board. In the assembly room, another technician fits a template on the board deck and traces the contours of the hand grab mount with a pencil. He uses an air saw to cut out a slot in the fiberglass laminate to fit the hand grab mount. He binds the hand grab mount to the hull with a coat of vinyl ester resin. Within about 20 minutes, the laminate hardens. Next, plastic tubing for the internal anchoring system is installed. A technician applies a bonding adhesive to the tube, securing it in place. He attaches the tube with tie wraps so it doesn't get tangled inside the hull. He installs a jam cleat for the rope that will allow the paddler to manually control the anchor from the deck. The hull's cured vinyl ester resin is now firmly bonded to the structural laminate.
Polyester Sylvester.
The assembler applies expanding adhesive and positions an expanded polypropylene foam stringer inside the hull. The foam stringers are the backbone of the board. They support the weight of the paddler on the deck while keeping the board as light as possible. Using a nylon wedge and a rubber mallet, the assembler removes the mold from the hull. Since the hull is so lightweight, 2 assemblers can lift and flip it onto a cart. An assembler trims off the excess laminate using an air cutter fitted with a diamond cutting blade. He levels the foam stringers with a file blade, ensuring the tightest possible fit between the hull and deck.
You know what we're gonna do?
He applies expanded foam
never mind. I said
adhesive
we're
on
gonna
the
wait and watch a
stringers
movie tomorrow.
Before he places
What
the
we'll
deck
do
on the
is,
foam with the help of a coworker.
Damn, but you know what I was gonna say is I want to do maybe like 30 minutes of a movie each time, but I don't want to have to make y'all fucking show up. And then if you miss part of it and then aren't here, yeah, I don't know. I would like to watch movies, but movies are so long, it's hard to. And I don't want to play it all back to back because that will get flagged. And if it gets flagged, I can take little chunks out of the video, but I don't want to take a whole fucking 2-hour chunk out of it, you know? We will figure it out.
The adhesive quickly binds the parts together. The vinyl rub rail, designed as a side protection, masks
What is
the
this, a
joint
paddleboard
between
or
the deck
a
and the hull.
sailboard?
The hull contains a dry storage hatch where the onboard battery is housed. The 8 amp-hour battery can activate the power pole, a micro anchor designed for shallow waters. In deeper waters, a paddler can manually activate the internal anchor system with a 16-foot nylon cord. Finally, this board is ready to hit the water.
Going on now at Ashley's Labor Day sale. Everything is on sale, up to 40% off. Find this queen bag now only $329, or get 0% interest for 5 years with me.
When you're sitting outdoors and it starts getting chilly, you can shiver.
Until next time, friend.
Put on
Appreciate you
more
being here.
layers of clothing, or press a button to let the furniture you're sitting on warm you up.
We'll probably finish
Designed
this
for use in
piece
the
that we're working on
outdoors
now
and in
then
colder indoor
hop
spaces,
off.
heated furniture is a hot new trend.
Heated furniture, what?
This heated lounge is hip and practical. Discreet drain holes
Is it,
prevent
though?
rainwater from puddling, and the easy-to-reach heat control knob is located underneath the seat. Benches, multi-seat lounges, and single chairs can all be made into heated furniture. The first step is to coat a fiberglass mold with a release agent. Once a rubber insert is glued into the drain hole, a technician mixes the ingredients for the casting material together. Ingredients include pigment containing metal oxides, which prevent color fading, a concrete mix containing a blend of fibers for extra strength and resistance, and water containing proprietary additives.
Ooh, look at that.
The ingredients are mixed together for about 3 minutes until the concrete is the consistency of cake batter. A thin layer is sprayed onto the fiberglass mold, and any raised areas are flattened to remove air bubbles.
Look at that, spraying it.
The chair's color will never rub off or peel. because the pigment is mixed right into the concrete.
Concrete.
Next, technicians add the heating element, a cable that is wrapped around the piece of furniture. The cable is tacked in place with a separate mix of concrete that has a higher fiber content. The entire heating element is embedded in a full coat of the high fiber concrete.
Looks like when I have a higher
Then
fiber
the
content
first
too.
mix is applied, and the structure is left to cure at room temperature for 24 hours. Now cured, this white chair is ready to be extracted. A technician pumps compressed air through the drain hole insert. Due to the release agent application, the cast chair easily pops off the mold. The rough edges are smoothed with a diamond file. Then the drain hole plug is removed.
Oh yeah, if you couldn't watch the recording back over, yeah. I guess that's true.
At another station, a technician coats the entire surface of another chair with a sealant that blocks moisture. Moisture penetration weakens concrete and draws out the
We'll
natural
announce it
salt,
though.
which leaves
We'll
white
start
stains.
tomorrow. We'll do like
Meanwhile, a welder
a quarter of
constructs
a
the
movie
chair's
tomorrow,
frame
and we'll
with
start with
parts
Party
made out of
Monster.
stainless steel tubes and plates. The chair has 3 legs plus cross members that act as conduits.
Either a
for
quarter
electrical
or
wires.
half a movie at a
The
time.
cross members connect to a stainless steel box.
Again, just so
which will house
we don't have
the
to take
temperature
out
control unit.
an entire chunk of our stream for copyright.
A technician fills a channel with adhesive along the perimeter.
Mushroom.
He places the frame into the channel. The adhesive will take a day to cure. Next, the electrical wiring is assembled. The technician fishes 2 electrical wires through the frame. One wire connects the power cord plug to the temperature control unit. The other runs from the temperature control unit to the temperature control switch. He glues the switch into a hole in the right front leg. All the wires are embedded in rubber, making them waterproof. The temperature control unit is installed in the box at the center of the frame. Then a temperature sensor is installed underneath the seat. The technician hammers plastic and stainless steel feet into the bottom of the legs.
We are going to
This prevents the
use
legs from scratching
this
the
next
floor
mushroom here. I'll show
and
you. I'll
levels the
light on.
furniture on an uneven surface. Lastly, a bronze drain is inserted into the drain hole.
Where's the fucking herb?
A quality-controlled heat test measures the surface temperature with an infrared thermometer.
So cute.
If all is operating correctly, the sensor under the seat tells the thermostat in the temperature control unit.
The Shiloh
when to
movies,
turn
I don't
the
think I've
heat
seen those.
on or off.
Actually, I probably have. The name sounds familiar. It's an animal movie, right?
Oiko's strong. Oiko's triple.
Oiko.
How strong do you want to be?
What? Protein yogurt. Interesting. Sounds like a good idea, actually. Sounds like you
Gummy
poop
vitamins
a
were
whole lot,
invented in
though.
the late 20th century by a couple looking for a way to entice their dog.
Probably got a
to
little
take the
mushroom
vitamins.
emoji on YouTube.
Infused into a gummy candy, vitamins.
Right,
are
yeah,
a
okay.
sweet and
I was gonna
soothing
say, the dog
experience
movie.
for both kids and adults. Just like
You're
gummy
on- you're on the,
candies,
the
gummy
cult-
vitamins
the
come
cult
in a
schedule
variety
now
of
is in the-
sweet, fruity flavors, making a vitamin a less bitter pill to swallow.
Your almost named
Each gummy
Shiloh.
vitamin starts with a specific.
I think I was
formula.
always Joshua.
First, raw ingredients are
Which
selected and weighed.
I
Some are
disagree.
in liquid form, and
Don't
others
like
are
it.
solids.
I
The
disagree.
nutritional ingredients are blended with water. This particular batch is a multivitamin preparation. It includes magnesium, calcium, and other
Even
minerals.
J doesn't even sound right still, but we're using that for now.
In a separate tank, technicians prepare the gelatin base, which gives the vitamins a jelly-like consistency. Next, sugar and gelatin premix is poured into the tank.
Ooh.
The technician adds a sugar substitute to the other ingredients.
Sugar substitute, so starch.
Meanwhile, specific amounts of water and
Like
glucose are
Splenda?
dispensed into the tank.
Carcinogen?
It takes about 5 minutes to blend the ingredients for the gelatin base. Then the gummy vitamin base is transferred to a large holding tank. In the lab, the nutritional mixture is tested for contaminants such as heavy metals and bacteria.
Heavy metal.
An automated syringe
Test
injects the
positive
solutions
for
into test
heavy
tubes,
metal.
rinsing in between injections. Now the samples in the test tubes are ready to be analyzed. For heavy metal testing, the sample is injected into an extremely hot vacuum chamber.
For heavy metal testing, we'll go over to our
The
friends
plasma flame
Metallica.
turns the metal contaminants
Lars,
into
over to
atoms,
you.
which the machine reads as different colors. The machine also identifies and quantifies contaminants. With the samples cleared for processing, they're ready for flavoring and colorant. More vitamins are added in powder form to boost the formula's potency. The liquid vitamin preparation and the gelatin base is piped into the mixing tank. Then, everything is blended together. The batter is now ready to be made into thousands of gummy vitamins. A conveyor queues up the vitamin molds. Multiple nozzles deposit precise amounts of batter into small molds. The conveyor moves the tray forward as the gummy vitamins begin to solidify. A robotic arm stacks the mold trays in a holding area.
The
The arm
Moltres.
gently lowers the trays into place. For several hours, the pills continue to harden in the molds. Once completely solidified, the gummy vitamins are removed from the molds and transferred into a revolving drum. The tumble in the drum separates them. They exit onto a perforated conveyor, and any small bits fall through the holes. The conveyor zigzags back and forth, allowing the gummy vitamins to cool and further solidify. The gummy vitamins have now reached their final consistency.
And then me just laying there with my mouth open.
The gummy vitamins head into a steam chamber. The humidity from the steam preps the vitamins for sugar coating. The sugar clings to the gummy vitamins, and the revolving action of the drum shakes off any excess, leaving just a dusting on the surface. At the packaging station, the vitamins funnel into chutes, where sensors count and release the pills into bottles.
They're gonna think we're dumb
As
and
the
just
bottles
copied
move
them. That's
forward,
hilarious.
Caps land on the rims, and spinning rubber mechanisms screw the caps on tightly.
Oh, I feel better listening.
Down the line, labels with product
That'd be too many
information are
vitamins.
placed
I'd
onto
be
each
so
bottle.
healthy. I'd be so healthy. I'd be so filled with
Depending on the
probiotics.
formulation, it can take up to 3 weeks to produce gummy vitamin pills. And the result? Nutritious gumdrops that are a real treat.
So probably another sponsored thing.
Wear purple and gold. I have to show up and show up.
All the vitamins. Give me the kidney stones.
Table tennis is more commonly
Table
known as ping
tennis.
pong. Folding table tennis tables are popular in homes and kept outdoors because they can be closed up and rolled out of the way. These tables can also fold down on just one side, allowing for solo play. This high-end
I love
outdoor
fucking
table
ping
tennis
pong.
table has an
I used to play
aluminum
ping pong
bottom
like
that
crazy
prevents the
when I went to
tabletop
summer
called the
camp.
plate from
Undefeated.
warping or splitting due to expansion and contraction. A press stamps cups into a sheet of aluminum. This
Alright,
pattern
let's get
creates
these
nearly
mushrooms
equal
attached.
areas both in contact and out of contact with the rest of the plate layers, providing flexibility to withstand
Stop making
temperature-related
that sound.
movement. Each table
high-pitched
needs
noise.
2 embossed aluminum sheets, one for each half of the plate. A technician assembles frames for the plate halves out of square extruded aluminum tubes, cut to the lengths and widths of the plate half perimeter. An automated milling machine makes miter cuts, which allow the tubes to be made into rectangles. Then the technician moves the frames onto a rotating fixture.
It's so cute.
and welds the corners together. The frames are inserted into a brushing machine. Inside, wire brush rollers allow the aluminum surface to become rough. This helps the components to adhere to one another. Another technician places the embossed aluminum sheet into a rectangular assembly jig and adds the brushed aluminum frame. A conveyor transfers the jig to the next station. Then the jig connects with an 8mm thick sheet of particle board made of wood chips and glue. The board is coated with a heat-activated adhesive film on both sides.
Mushroom dance.
At the next station, an aluminum sheet is
That's
placed
so
on top of the
cute.
particle board.
I love these so
This
much.
step completes the plate component assembly. Next, the conveyor loads the jig into a press. Once 12 jigs have been onto the press, it heats to 239 degrees Fahrenheit and compresses them for about 10 minutes. This process activates the adhesive and bonds the components of each plate into a single unit, one framed plate half.
Yeah, I really like
Each
these.
plate
We're gonna
half
keep
goes
making
through
a
an
bunch of
automated
these
milling
in a
machine.
couple different ways. I want to have a few of these just basic styles because we'll do these for
The machine trims any excess
75
material
normally,
from all
100
four
with a
sides
bowl.
to ensure the table won't have any sharp edges.
And I think we're gonna do an auction for one of these tomorrow as well, or I'll post it this morning. We're just gonna keep doing. Oh, speaking of auctions, the Milky Way bottle that's up for auction on Instagram right now is only at $20.
The plate half goes
And it's gonna
through a
end
paint
in a few
machine,
hours, so
then into
someone's
an
gonna get
oven.
that for super cheap.
The process repeats, applying a second coat of paint and a UV-resistant clear coat. A machine applies paint through a screen stencil, printing the lines that mark the boundaries of the playing surface. After the paint is dried in an oven, a team places the finished plate half in a cardboard box and attaches folding legs to the base. The factory mills the legs in-house out of high-tensile steel, then finishes them in baked-on paint. The net along with several
just cracked.
components are packed and made in-house, which the consumer later assembles to the table.
Did you hear that?
Components include the net posts, side panels,
That was a
wheels,
big one, too.
wheel brakes, and the ball return box.
We'll see if we can patch the
Finally,
crack.
the plate half
It
is
might end up being a
transferred to an
seconds rig.
automated system which completes the packaging. Many ping pong tables
Usually
on
when
the
we put them
market
back in the
require net
kiln
to be-
is when they will crack because the rest of the piece is a different temperature than what we just worked on was. So that little attachment that we put on the back with the mushrooms was way hotter than the rest of the glass. And when we put the glass back in the kiln and it started warming back up, that temperature difference between that spot we just heated up and the stress in the glass around it failed and cracked. Oh yeah, Lucinda, got you anytime. But yeah, let's see how bad it looks. Oh yeah. Ooh, that's a bad one. Wow. Cracked all the way around. Let's see if we'll be able to salvage this.
Probably removed every time you fold the table. The design of this table enables the net to remain in place, whether the table is folded for storage or has one or both sides open for playing. Less setup time means more time to play.
It's cracking even more now. It happens. Also, this white that we're using
No
is
one
very,
knows
very
who came up
shocking.
with the idea of squeezing oranges to make juice. The popularity of orange juice increased dramatically in the middle of the 20th century as techniques were developed to extend its shelf life. Today, many people start their day with a tall glass of OJ. In its purest form, orange juice is fresh squeezed and made with no preservatives or other additives. The appeal is indisputable. Fresh squeezed OJ contains vitamin C, and the flavor is authentic. Orange juice production starts in groves. The trees take several months to bear fruit and are harvested in early November. Picking oranges is a job that's done entirely by hand. An automated picking system could damage both the trees and the fruit. The picker uses a bag made of vinyl composite that's lightweight and heavy-duty. There are multiple types of juicing oranges. This one is called the Hamlin. Hamlin oranges are small and juicy. The trees they grow on are productive and resilient to cold. The picker plucks the fruit from the trees before they turn orange. They may be green on the outside, but they are still sweet on the inside. The fruit's size and condition are indications of maturity and flavor. As the picker empties the bag into a bin, he examines the oranges. Anything with tears or punctures may also have internal degradation, but superficial flaws won't affect the quality of the juice.
We don't want to spend too much time trying to salvage this.
And transfer it to a sloped chute.
But I do think I will be able to, so we'll keep going with it.
The gradient of the chute prevents damage, as the oranges tumble into a wash station. A sprayer sprays soapy water onto the oranges, as spiraling nylon brushes scrub and clean while simultaneously moving them forward. After the wash, another sprayer rinses them off, as the spiraling brushes continue scrubbing. The oranges transition to a roller conveyor that takes them up and under drying pads. As the oranges exit the dryer, an inspector checks them for any missed damage. The oranges travel across more revolving brushes. The bristles on these brushes are gentler than on the first fruit. They buff the skin of the fruit and remove any residual dirt. Finally, the oranges fall off the conveyor line into a bin. Now cleaned, the oranges can be juiced with no contaminants that could spoil either the product or juicing machinery. As a final precaution, the juicing operator performs one last inspection. If she's completely satisfied with their cleanliness and general condition, she loads the oranges into the extractor. There's no need to slice them beforehand. She feeds them to the juicing machine whole. The system feeds the oranges one at a time to the extractor. The extractor punctures the fruit, and metal teeth peel away the skin. It squeezes out the juice, while simultaneously filtering out the seeds and the membrane between the flesh of the orange and the skin. The juice flows into a vat. A screen in the vat filters the pulp to the desired consistency. There are several different filters for different amounts of pulp. The juice is bottled in jugs. The plastic jugs will accommodate any expansion of the unpasteurized juice due to fermentation. Instead of pasteurizing,
yeah, that's why we don't want to spend too much time on seconds pieces.
The unpasteurized orange juice won't have an extended shelf life.
Because they will end up being seconds pieces, and sometimes they don't even make it after you've done all of what I'm doing right now.
Refrigeration will preserve the juice for a few days. And after all, fresh squeezed orange juice is a drink that's best served cold.
Alright, we'll see if it makes it. Because it might just crack again in that same place. Poor little babies, right? If anything, we
Mountain
can
bike
take
tires
the
are
mushrooms
true
off of it and
trailblazers,
reuse them.
specifically designed for off-road riding. Wider than regular road tires, mountain bike tires have raised knobs or lugs that add stability on uneven terrain.
We got about 9
twisting
minutes
trail,
left in the stream.
these
Either
tires
way,
can handle it all.
I'm gonna pull this off the handle and we're gonna see how it lasts
When
as
the
it
rubber hits
cools.
the dirt,
It
it's
didn't
all
crack
about
again just
control.
now, so
Mountain bike tires are designed to
a
grip the
seconds
ground
mushroom
and provide
piece.
traction off-road. First, designers use a computer model of a tire to simulate the
Which we'll
effects
save
of
for anybody who
different
asks
rubber
what our cheapest
compounds.
pieces.
Construction begins with rubber compounds being mixed together to create parts of the tire. Ingredients include synthetic and natural rubbers, sulfur, and other chemicals. Rotating spiral blades break down the materials. Friction from the mixing heats and softens them. This
Oh, is that pink
transforms the
powder?
ingredients into a dough-like rubber
Oh,
compound.
look at that.
Powerful rollers squeeze the compound into thick, long sheets, and blades cut
Ooh,
the
nice,
rolled
Lucinda.
rubber
Yeah,
into
definitely get
narrow
some food in ya.
strips. Then, the rubber travels through more rollers that squeeze it down to the desired thickness.
What are they making?
The rubber sheets land on a cart, ready for use.
Something with rubber?
Technicians encase steel bead wire with one of these compounds. The bead wire is the part of the tire that connects the
tires?
wheel's rim. As steel wire travels through an aperture, the rubber is extruded to form the casing. The machine delivers the bead wire to a spinning disc. The disc winds the bead wire, shaping it into rings, which fit to a wheel rim. To maintain the diameter of the wire, the technician tapes the ends together, holding
We'll
the
keep
shape
this piece
until
for
the
a
next
while.
stage of production. Next, rubber
And this will
sheets
be
with
a
varying
discount piece.
characteristics enter an extruder.
And if nobody
Using
ends up
heat
buying
and
it,
pressure,
we'll
the
probably make
extruder
it a giveaway
forces the
piece.
rubber through dies. This process merges their characteristics into a single sheet. This sheet will be used to make the bicycle's tread. The tread rubber travels through a channel of cool water. Meanwhile, rollers coat fabric with rubber to make plies for the tire casing. A moving blade cuts it into strips.
Like I always say, I like giveaways.
This
We're going to do a
rubber
lot
is
of them.
naturally tacky, so the pieces can be easily spliced.
I have a lot of pieces and
The system feeds the
opportunities to
strips
do
to
so.
the tire building machine.
So we make sure to.
A skilled assembler wraps the strips to the machine drum to form the tire casing and splices the rubber where the ends meet.
Woo!
Next, robots slide two wire
Alright,
beads
T
around
minus
the
6
casing.
minutes left in the stream.
The
We're
ends
going to
of
watch
drum
the rest
fold
of
the sides
this
of the casing over the bead
and
wires.
maybe the start of the next one.
The technician applies rubber-coated fabric to the bead wires.
Oh yeah, always
strengthening the
giveaways.
area.
Big fan.
The tread rubber is placed in the center.
Especially when
A
people can't
roller
afford
applies
things too,
pressure
you know.
as the drum spins to wind the tread around the casing.
Because I
Then,
appreciate the
ends are
support
pressed together manually,
and would like to give back
and one
as
more
much as I
turn of
can
the drum
in as many
secures
ways as
the
possible.
tread rubber to the casing. Once vent holes have been cut in the rubber, it's over to an expanding mold where the tire takes
Oh,
shape.
bike tires, okay.
The technician inserts a rubber curing bladder to maintain the shape of the
Motorcycle
tire.
tires? Bike tire.
Then he places the mountain bike tires in curing molds. These individual molds will
Ooh,
steam
you
coat
see
the
those white
tires under
ones?
pressure to further shape them.
There was white rubber ones.
This
White rubber
process
tires.
forms knobs and other protrusions on the tire surface that are designed to grip a rugged terrain. Like a big waffle iron, this
Yum.
mold has cooked and formed the
That sounds
mountain
tasty.
bike tire. The tire is then placed on a rack to
So
cool.
if you find you have a lack of energy, Lucinda, that's the reason why. I used to do that as well. Only ate one meal a day, and it was at the very end of my day. I recommend, even if it's just a snack at the very beginning, eat a handful of peanuts, eat a handful of almonds, maybe make a shake. They do the breakfast shakes. a banana, literally anything at the very start of your day is going to give you 10 times more energy than you got now. That was my number one problem, is just waking up with absolutely no energy whatsoever. And it's because all of the ready energy and starches and fats and all the sugars and whatnots that were in the food that I ate got processed into fat while I was asleep. And I didn't get any good energies or anything left over in the morning when I woke up.
Next, the bike tire undergoes
Yeah,
a
just
durability
find
test.
safe foods. It's got to be a safe food. I do shakes in the morning whenever I wake up. I say the morning, it's nighttime when I wake up. I put a banana in the shake though. I do protein shake and a banana in there, so I get a little bit of everything. I'd also recommend taking iron supplements. Iron is really good for pretty much just energy and anything. But yeah, little snack, whatever it is, just something in your stomach right when you wake up. I know it fucking sucks. I hate eating or putting food in my mouth when I wake up. I hate the taste of it, overstimulating as soon as I wake up. But find something bland, even if it's just like oatmeal. Put some honey in your oatmeal, maybe a little peanut butter, and you're good to go for until you eat later in that day. Especially if you get some peanut butter in there. Peanut butter is real good for you. High in protein.
Computer measures rolling resistance. That's the energy lost when the tire rotates, and an indication of how
Actually, we'll
easily
end
the
it
tire
after
will
this
roll.
one. So there's, oh, it ended right there.
This mountain bike tire is
Just
now
kidding, we'll start the
cleared
next one.
to
We
travel
still
off
got
the beaten path.
3 minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes. 2.5 minutes.
COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too by asking your healthcare provider.
Yeah, even if it's just like a tiny snack, even if it's like just a fucking trail mix grab, just anything at the beginning of your day gives you more energy.
The very first time.
Gives you energy to burn.
Manufactured in multiple.
Oh wait, hang on. Instead of this episode, we gotta do the doggo sign off. Gotta say goodbye to the puppos. Come here, Lucy. Marley, you gotta come say bye. Marley, don't be lazy. Yes. Big stretch. Don't show them your butt. Oh, I thought she had it like angled directly at the camera for a sec. I was like, you're stretching right up into that. Yes. Are y'all just so ready for me to give you all the attention? Yeah? Huh? Marley's like, I'm indifferent. Lucy's like, please. Please. Alright, from me and Marley and Lucy to you. That's a fun thing to say. From me and Marley and Lucy to you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. That's nice. That's a nice thing to say. Alrighty, friends. We are calling it an early evening. I know y'all need to catch up on sleep just as much as I need to catch up on other things in the house. This will be about as short as a stream as we get here on out in the near future. We will continue streaming, hopefully until the special time every day. I appreciate y'all being here. Sky, Lucinda, Mytho. Lucinda, you're actually still awake. Usually I have to say goodnight. This is fun. I get to talk to y'all a little bit more. But, yes, thank you for being here. We will be back. Y'all know where to find us. We will be on later tomorrow night or later tonight. Like I said, I just got to get a bunch of stuff done. I got to pack a bunch of those. All of these need to go out. I need to clean the kitchen a little bit. So a little bit earlier streams help me to do a few things around the house, which I'm going to do. I'm not going to go sit down and watch TikTok videos. As soon as I hop off this, I'm going to go and do things. As y'all can tell, I didn't time the outro correctly, so we still have a few seconds. Matt, thank you for being here as well. I try to say everybody's name who's still hanging out in chat. Alrighty, friends, until next time, I love each and every one of you. You know where to find me. Colton Leader out.